Wife, we are live. We're not going to watch a movie, but I'm getting my computer set up like I normally do at the beginning of a live. I do hope that everybody is doing fine tonight. Tonight I am being rewarded. I worked on orders today, so tonight I get to make something. I get to do something new. I really do like making all the grave diggers and stuff, but there is something about making something for the first time that is very exciting.
Lots of hellos. Hello, my goodness. Hello, my gosh.
What?
Your lives have become my new obsession.
Oh no.
Well, thank you. Turn on notifications so I can actually catch up live regularly. Hi, Stacy.
Hello.
I'm fixing to get on to bed. Gotta be up at work at midnight. I got you, Jean.
This is the part where I hope I didn't have any really weird windows open, because like my computer was there for the whole world.
Hello from Long Beach, California. We like Long Beach.
Yeah.
It's a great place. Hi, Alan. Hello, hello. Hi, I'm at work sneaking. Kirk, we're not going to say anything. Hi, Cobwebs and Candlesticks. Hello, hello. 23 people in 86 seconds. That is unbelievable.
That's crazy. Y'all are bored.
Love seeing the lives. They're keeping me sane. Oh my goodness. Look at all you guys. Oh my gosh.
That was the wrong button.
Connie. Hi, Connie. Look at all you people. Oh my goodness. Look at all of you. You know, I'm missing work when I'm watching yesterday's live while I'm sewing today, Stacy. We miss you, Stacy. Strange not having shop nights.
I don't have any chat yet.
There's
People have
plenty
said
here.
something?
Yes.
Well, I will restart it.
Where's your pop-up? Because they're here. Goodness gracious. 27 people? Wow. In 2 minutes. Hi, everyone. Hello, Ezekiel. Line Cooked Thor. Jamie Thaxton. Hi.
Hello.
Third Degree Warren. Bill Batchelor. Oh, my gosh. Look at everybody. Jason Bame. Fondlin. Hi. I sewed 45 masks today. That is awesome.
That's great.
Jean Sanford. Hola. Hello, Jean.
Remember that time I had the internet? Those were good times.
I've got internet.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We'll try it again. Well, we're going to go without pop-out chat for a little while.
I've got you. You trying to hook into YouTube?
I feel good about this one.
You can do it.
I was wrong.
Kurt Mattia, gotta go back to work. Lowe's can't work itself.
Right, cannot.
Hi, Linda.
People need that necessary mulch.
Oh. Michelle Schulte, did you get your presents? That's awesome.
We're just going to restart my whole computer.
I'm so glad you liked them. We're having fun putting surprises in packages these days. This is a lot of fun.
Ooh. That's what you get, wife.
I didn't do nothing.
Oh. She
Michelle
waved.
says, you're awesome. I loved my extras, by the way. The Cyclops is fantastic, and the skeleton's officially named Harry.
Hooray. Harry. Oh, that's a good name for a skeleton. I see what you did there.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Okay.
get lots of... We're putting all kinds of toys in our packages right now.
And I'm doing something tonight that I normally don't do. I am going to... well, I sculpt. I normally sculpt. I'm going to use reclaimed clay. I'm going to use clay that it came out of, I think, the werewolf foot mold. So I will be, I'll be using clay that's a little firmer, but that should allow me to do details faster. I want to knock out this sculpture in just tonight and not have it lag on. I want to knock it out mostly tonight and then spend a couple hours cleaning up tomorrow.
Say hello to Dark Hour intern Alex Castle.
Hello, Dark Hour intern Alex Castle.
Hugo from, was it Peru?
Hugo, Brazil. Is that right?
There we go. Hello, Hugo is here. Speedrun Productions, hello.
Okay.
Yeah, glad you guys are enjoying. With those of you who are placing orders, we are having a good time putting surprises in your packages. It's a little ridiculous, but we are having fun with that. So just be aware.
The part where I hope I didn't just type my password up there for everybody to see. Okay, so we're getting set up. I've got my sculpting tools. I'm gonna grab my bust. This is my shop bust. And my dogs have chewed on his nose. Do you see that? So I have to add a little bit of extra clay there to make up for doggoness.
Wow, where are you guys from? It's already the 14th here. Greetings from the Netherlands. Oh my goodness.
Hello, Netherlands.
That's awesome.
We are in Dallas, Texas.
Outside of Dallas, yeah. Wow, that is awesome. The Netherlands. It's the so it's the next day there. Wow, that's amazing.
Well, it's the next day for Ezekiel too.
Yeah, that's true. I put on the wolf mask and scared the crap out of one of my housemates. Best scare ever. Something I needed. That's Michelle Schulte. Michelle, I probably should have sent you that.
Hooray.
She's using her powers for evil.
We like evil. I don't want to be good. I want to be evil. All right. I'm letting my computer sit there and think about what it's done.
So making something brand new tonight.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I am going to sculpt something, a new mask. And I don't know what it is yet. So I haven't gathered reference material. I can always use a good multifunctional monster that might one day become a Krampus and might one day become an orc, you know, one of those guys. Or I want to do a Beastman inspired sculpture from Masters of the Universe. He was my favorite character. I would like to do a Beastman inspired sculpture. That again, I could use as an orc. I could use as a werewolf. I could use it as a gorilla type thing. And or I want to do a shark inspired head. So Beastman, shark, or generic monster. Well, let's just say orc. Orc, Beastman, or shark. Is Cobwebs and Candlesticks on?
Yes.
Okay. He is going to pull the people. Cobwebs, you pull the people, and tell me which one we're sculpting.
Oh,
the prep is
pressure.
the same. The prep is the same no matter what.
That's pressure.
It is. Now, sometimes people walk away, so he may not even be listening. Let me know if he acknowledges. But put in your vote. Orc,
Shark. Tony
orc,
does
shark, or Beastman.
Stacy's putting in 2 sharks. Jamie, shark. Beastman, says Stanley as shark. Cobwebs and Candlesticks says gotcha. He's here. Beastman, shark, Beastman. I vote for monster, says Linda Forbes.
Yeah, monster, orc,
Shark.
or orc, shark, Beastman.
Do, baby, shark. Orc. Sheet ghost. Oh, god dang it. Dead end yard haunt.
Jordan's on.
He's not on. He's not on. That was Dead End Yard Haunt who did that. Beastman, shark. Oh my gosh, Beastman, shark. Oh my goodness. Beastman times 1,000 says Ezekiel.
YouTube sent me an email to tell me I was live.
Yeah, they do that to all of us but you. Shark. So far it's shark, says Cobwebs and Candlesticks. Beastman. Oh, why did you give him this job? That's just mean.
And that's, you know what? You're going to be here. You got to work.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
how it goes.
Look at all these answers.
We don't have no freeloaders on this channel.
Beastman.
Y'all thought you were going to sit there and watch.
Everybody's got 2 cents. Lockhart. Hello. Beastman, Mr. Spidey. Beast Shark. Dead End Yard Haunt. Shark Orcman. Oh my god, that's funny.
Criminy, you're killing me.
Great.
Okay.
Ring it, Cobwebs. Beastman. That's Ezekiel.
You know, I'm not counting votes, so, you know, whatever happens, happens. Remember time I had a stool to sit on? Those were good times. I guess it's in the other room.
Let's use your... No. Beastnado. Oh my god. Warren. Nearly typed breast man. Ezekiel. Oh my gosh, you guys. Y'all are funny. A shark beast. They got attacked by an orc. I don't know. You have given Cobwebs a ridiculous task.
Did I choose poorly?
No, you didn't choose poorly. It's just that
I think Cobwebs is an upstanding citizen.
I don't know how you're going to make this work.
What time is it now?
The time is 6:40. The Sharks win, says Gene Sanford, but it's Cobwebs and Candlesticks.
So about...
Cobwebs says it's a shark.
I got to cover this in clay. So let's say, Alexa, count down 6 minutes. You have 6 minutes to figure it out.
Cobwebs has already said it's a shark.
Okay.
Shark is what it looks like. Cobwebs don't take a vote, just decide. Shark, and you can name the mold, Bruce. What kind of shark? It's a shark.
Well, it's shark inspired is what I said.
Well,
Shark inspired.
They want a shark.
So, I think goblin sharks are pretty cool.
Goblin sharks.
My favorite monster ever is a cookie cutter shark. Like, not monster, but animal. I love cookie cutter sharks. They're so ridiculous in how they feed, and they're awesome. I like me some cookie cutter sharks.
Okay.
I guess
Shark
they're my
it
favorite
is.
shark. I don't think they're my favorite animal, but they're up there. I don't want to like snuggle one. But hey, and you know what? This could suck. It's not like I've taken time and gathered reference material. I'm going to be winging it. And
Shark-inspired beast man.
I'm going to rely a lot on my wife, who is reading comments, and not use my TV so much. I'm going to have to go over here and look at visual reference. I'm going to have some visual reference up on my screen.
Hammerhead.
Because that is the way you do a good sculpture.
Hammerhead's a cool idea.
Hammerhead is, but I know I'm going to do a hammerhead shark for Dark Hour coming up. Mask.
Goblin sharks are way creepy. Had a close encounter with a hammerhead. What a beast and what a scare, says Ezekiel.
Yeah, punch him.
We've got to close the beaches. Oh, wait.
It's not July 4th.
Beastman shark. A shark's teeth looks like pumpkin teeth.
No. Pumpkin teeth are much more... Shark's teeth are very triangular, and pumpkin teeth are very pointy.
Oh my god, these answers. Goblin sharks. Shouldn't you say you are finding it?
Fitting it.
Sharks with laser beams coming out of its eyes. Out of its head.
Maybe if we do an apocalypse version.
Shark's teeth like candy corn.
What have we done?
Well,
we're gonna have a good time. So I lay my base down in all these little lumpa-jumps. I don't cut sheets of clay and put them on because I want to know the thickness and I want to control the thickness. And if I put it on like this, I know that there's enough clay everywhere on top of this bust. And if I do a sheet of clay, I don't know if there's an air pocket under there or what. So I just find it better.
The sharks from Austin Powers. Makos are a few sharks with that type of tooth. Pandora's box is officially opened. Street sharks.
Oh, street sharks, man, those were cool.
Where did those come from?
Well, they were action figures. I had Ripper. I had a couple of them.
That was Happening Mojo from Taiwan.
I named the Hammerhead one. I don't know what his real name was, but I called him MC. His name was MC because it was MC Hammerhead. Whatever.
Lockhart says, "Let's play a game. No reference material. We throw out ideas and you make it. I'll buy one."
That's not how that works. The sculpture is better when you use reference material. It gets to be a better, crisper. Our brains are not good at holding detailed images. Our entire brain system is designed so that it can store the smallest amount of data possible. And what happens around the corners of the wrinkles of a mouth of a fish just isn't something it's going to get stored in your brain unless you do sculpt fish every day. And most of the things I sculpt, I'm not exposed to enough to go without reference material. And anyone who says I sculpt great without reference material, I know that they would sculpt better if they would just use their reference material. I'm not going to copy anything, but I'm going to let reference material help inform my decisions so that this has a basis in reality.
Street Sharks was a cool cartoon. Does it take strong fingers to work with this type of clay?
Well, this clay has already been molded once. This clay is a little bit stronger, tougher, I should say, than clay right out of the package. So, does it take strong fingers? No, not at all.
They still want they are understanding that you have a direction for tonight, but they are asking for a YouTube-inspired group mask at some point.
A YouTube-inspired group mask.
YouTube-inspired group mask at some point.
We can probably do that one night. That is going to take a lot of moderation.
Look at the hair on that bust. Sure, where you're looking at dead end. Hello from Sweden.
Hey, Sweden. Who is that in Sweden?
That is Andre Braven.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, they've been on before.
He said, "Oh, good. I have weak, chubby little fingers for working clay."
Sweden. How are things in Sweden, Andre? Are you guys on lockdown or no? I've not checked in on the rest of the world like I should be doing. I don't know if Italy is still on lockdown or if they're recovering. I hear China's doing better. And I don't want to talk a ton of virus stuff, but since I have people from all over the world, I might as well ask a little bit. Any other comments there, wife?
Comments back and forth. They are talking about having a YouTube-inspired mask.
Okay.
Which I logged in on a few times today in a row for watching you. That's Katasia.
Well, very cool. And you were on last night, if I recall. So I'm gonna go ahead, honey.
This is early for you. It's not even 7 o'clock yet.
Yeah, it's true. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:47 p.m.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna have to do other eyes on this. I don't think the actor's eyes are gonna be able to pull off shark eyes, and You want to make those pitch black, dead doll eyes. You want those doll eyes on this.
Did you do a little quint there with the dead doll
I
eyes?
didn't do a good quint.
You did a great
That wasn't good.
quint.
No, I'll put my heart in the next one.
Tasia says, yeah, I thought it was early as well, so lucky me. Ezekiel, Aussies are on lockdown, and I'm loving it. Kids with me, we're working hard on school, the school of hard knocks. That's
I think if you own your own home, I think that a lockdown shelter in place is a lot easier than if you're in like an apartment, in an apartment complex. It's going to be physically easier because you have hopefully a little more space, but you also have home projects that you can do, whereas an apartment, you're just so limited.
Is there a certain thickness you aim for with the clay?
Yeah, I want to be about 1/2 inch all over it, 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. But I'm kind of monitoring that as I put it on. And some's a little higher and some's a little lower. I'm not really smoothing it out yet. I'm going to smooth it out here in the next stage.
Hello from Scotland.
Hello, Scotland.
Well, this is from Sweden. Well, yes and no. Our government is quite far from the rest of the world. I can still live my life as normal, just not being too close to people.
Got it.
Chad Smith. Oh, Shark, the teeth are going to be fun.
Was Scotland, was that
Field Walker
Hairy
masks.
Beastie or Field Walker masks, I was about to say. Okay. Good.
DG masks. Speaking
And
of eyes
I'm
and
not.
how they look, have you ever used Perma-Wet? I'm waiting for it in snail mail.
I have used Perma-Wet. I like Perma-Wet. I prefer 5-minute epoxy. I think I can get it to go on thicker, and I like that. It's a bit of a glaze. So I really like the 5-minute epoxy for eyes and werewolf noses.
Hello from Spastic Pug.
Hey, Spastic Pug,
Who named the carnivore?
who named the cornivore.
How many times can you reuse your clay?
You could reuse it quite a bit. I normally don't. Normally I use new clay. It's pretty rare for me to use reclaimed. I just thought it would be fun tonight. This is a bit of a difference. And I like that it's a little stiffer. It means I can get more detail in it right off the bat. Whereas I would have to wait if I did it with new clay. And you can see I haven't gone to any tools yet. And I'm really playing with shapes here and silhouette. I'm gonna have to figure out this silhouette. I do think I'm gonna put a bottom jaw on it like that.
Thanks for the info. Being from California, now living in Ireland, it's harder to find good stuff. Thanks again. That's DG Masks.
I bet. It is tough. I was helping a guy yesterday, and he's like, I gotta find latex to cast this mask up. I'm like, okay, where are you? He's like, I'm in Ghana.
Oh.
Which, okay, well, that's Africa. I know very little, but I was able to find him a latex factory in Senegal, and was able to help him get some latex happening. Let's do that.
Good afternoon, Alan. Junkyard Hooligans.
Okay,
Stacy says, between 5-minute epoxy and the clear Gorilla Glue construction adhesive, which is best?
Boy, see the 5-minute epoxy I kind of like a little better because it's actually paintable, whereas the clear Gorilla Glue adhesive in the caulking tube is much thicker, and you have to kind of then wet your fingers and really push it around in place. But it is a nice big glaze. I mean, it's a good glaze. I think that's going to be my profile I think. Now see, I turned it sideways just so it looks a little silly like that, but I want to work on this profile. I wanted to make sure that that was right before I started doing anything else. And I'm not going to have enough of this reclaimed clay. I'll be able to block this out, and then I'm going to have on the outside new clay, it looks like. And that's okay.
Did you say you were going to make a cookie cutter shark?
Cookie cutter sharks are one of my favorite sharks, so this will at least be a little bit inspired by it. After I get a basic block out, I'm going to pull up cookie cutter sharks and goblin sharks. But that way you guys can see my process of going through reference material too. You know, and I'll make a folder and then I'll play that folder on that screen.
Have you tried foam clay, or are you not making a mask? Logged in a bit late.
I am making a mask, and I have tried foam clay. But I want to just sculpt this in regular clay so that I can mold it and make a more.
Second, the 5-minute epoxy. It seems to Laban, if you add just a tiny bit of purple, it won't yellow as much over time.
Yeah.
Andre says, what's the best way to clean used clay from bits of grit, plaster, hair, and stuff? Can I melt it down and pour it through a strainer?
It depends on the type of clay. Now the water-based clay, no, you're going to have little bits of grit and stuff in there. The best thing to do at that point is spread out the water-based clay really thin. Let it dry. Let it dry up all the way. And then you can kind of grind it into powder, and then you can sift the powder to get those little plaster chunks out of it. Which is, now that we've heard that process, you might understand why I don't use old clay a lot. To keep it clean is labor intensive. But you certainly can, if it's monster clay or if it's any of the clays that are meltable, yeah, you can melt it down and strain it. Just run it through a regular strainer that you plan on not using ever again because it's full of clay. I'm still keeping track of where my eyeballs are. I don't want to write them off. Now I'm going to have to rake it because this clay is so much firmer than whatever I am going to put on later. I do want to rake this.
DevCon 5-minute epoxy, says cobwebs and candlesticks.
DevCon? Yeah, that's good. That's what Ed Edmonds touts, and it's available all over the place online. It's good stuff.
Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from California.
Hello.
I like that glue too, says Jean Stanford. Okay, very good, said Hugo. I can already see the shape coming, said Jean.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. One of the things is I don't want you guys to get bored. This is it's a sculpting video, but I want, I try to build up my shape quickly because, but this is one of the most interesting parts. Now is when you have the most control of it. This whole sculpture is a snowball at the top of a hill covered in snow. And there comes a point where you have to let it go and you have less and less control of it as it goes down. Right now I have the most control. This snowball is going very slowly, but I want to manage it and keep control of it so I don't have to do a lot of fixing later.
The sculpture looks like the detective in the Pink Panther cartoons.
Okay, I can see that.
I just googled the goblin shark. Looks like something from my nightmares.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. Also look up a frilled shark. Frilled sharks are really nice.
Is that a carpet shark?
A carpet shark?
Frilled.
No, a frilled shark is another deep sea old shark, 6-gill.
Oil-based clay is what I use. Jean says, I use Roma Plastilana. Yeah,
a lot of guys do that. I like water-based. I'm only going to work on this for a little while, I'm a fast sculptor to begin with, and I like a clay that I can work as fast as I can think. And when I have to wait for, and I think that the nostrils can be vision, I think. I like a clay that'll work as fast as I can think. And that's necessary for me to be successful. Others may want to have more time to plot things out and really think about things. That's just not my nature. I do a lot of best guessing and just go. All right, what I really want now is a tooth kidney, and I'm going to smooth out what I have up here. See a few holes to fill in.
Ezekiel, not Ezekiel Bradshaw, but Ezekiel, another Ezekiel is. What is happening here?
Ezekiel, why are you spamming me with eggs? This isn't funny. You're not amusing me, and I will boot you. So explain yourself and don't spam, or I'm gonna kick you off. Okay? I don't know if Scott Coldheart is here, and I don't know if.
I got it.
Okay.
If not, I've got it.
Yeah. There you go.
Respect to the woman that's reading the comments. Not many streamers do that. Well, it's easier for him to work with his hands.
Yeah. The woman we're doing the that's my wife.
Hi.
So she kind of has to.
Okay. Goodbye.
It's the law. She's supposed to help me.
Ezekiel. Goodbye.
Yeah. Have you got that handled?
I got it.
Thanks, baby.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. You know what? One of the dangers of this is the channel is being exposed to so many new people, you know, and if anyone young listening, just cover your ears. Some of them are dicks, and we just got to fix that.
Captain Mojo says, Chavant monomelt. You can melt it and lay it down on many surfaces. Monster clay hard is good too.
Yeah. Well, see, I prefer soft stuff. But I like wet. I like water-based clay. This is firmer than I'm used to. You'll see the real soft stuff happening soon.
I was going to say I use acrylic paint when doing pictures for the same reason you use water-based clay when sculpting. That's spastic pug.
Yeah, I mean, it's just faster. You know, if I want something to be brown, I don't necessarily want to have to paint it red first and then green and then, you know, go in with some browns. I just want to make it brown. But now my art may be, you know, stagnant that way. That's something that I have to consider.
Will you be making the fin for the shark too?
I will at least have a introduced fin element. I will probably do a small fin like right here that's completely contained in this half mask, or I know I'm going to mount this on an EVA foam helmet, and I may do the fin out of EVA because then it could be bigger.
How do you find your eye placement in a sculpt like that?
Well, what I have done, as you can see, is as I put clay on top of the eyes, I keep poking where the eyes actually are. I keep poking that. And right now, I'm just shaping this snout and muzzle.
You could also use chopsticks. I use monster clay only due to it's just what I got ever since. Never had to go at wet or any other, but it is me, or does it kill on the hands?
It is harder on the hands. It's tougher to work, and you have to warm it up some before you can use it. I mean, it's rough, you know. I don't like it.
Grilled shark looks like an eel.
It does. It does look like an eel. But look at that face. It's got a face only a face could face. Okay, now we're...
Monster clay is what I use, and it is very hard to use.
Yeah, I don't like it. That's why I like water-based.
Will sight be through the mouth? What you thinking?
I don't know yet. Right now, here's my eyes, and I built up a shape. And now I'm going to go over to the computer, and I'm going to put in a couple things, and we're going to pull some reference images. And then I'll get a more solid direction.
Hello, Josh Newman.
Hey, Josh. If I don't make this regular size now, every screen I go to will be huge. Goblin shark, let's go with images. See, and I think that's going to be a little too alien for what I'm doing. I love it. Let's steal some of these for mouth reference. I'm going to start a new folder here called Shark. This is part of the process. Now, normally I would have done this beforehand, but it certainly is part of the process. And can you guys see the images that I'm picking? No, you can't. I'm not just picking images that are like a straight on view. I'm picking sides. And at this guy, I think I'm mostly looking at mouth and teeth. That's what I'm looking at. This is a real sexy shot of his mouth. That's beautiful. I don't want to go to the website. I just want to steal your images. And I don't have to worry about copywritten images here because I'm not selling the picture I'm stealing. I'm going to sculpt from it. I'm making original art. I'm just using these as a reference. And these are good. Let's move on. I think I got what I need here. Let's look at cookie cutter shark.
With oil-based clay, the hairdryer will be your best friend.
I have a box that I have lined with aluminum foil, and I have a 100-watt light on top of that box, and that tends to keep it pretty warm. There are some times when I have to for clients and whatnot.
Someday you should make a blob face fish.
They are not very sexy. It's a possibility. Look at this cute little guy.
Stingray sharks are cool looking. Oh.
That looks a lot like a eel. You guys didn't think I was going to say eel, did you? I showed you my cookie cutter shark. Please respond.
I have been inspired by your videos for years, and I just realized I remembered you at Terror on Church Street when I was a kid. Too funny, and was one of my favorite things to do in Orlando. This is Dave Jennings.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that was a really fun place to work. It really was, and we had a good local support too. In all honesty.
What are you making?
I'm sculpting and making a shark mask, which you don't get a lot of.
The only time I use hard oil-based clay is when I'm pouring it into a life cast mold.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times.
I appreciate your videos. Do you list materials and manufacturers on a website?
Not all the time. No, I don't. I'm terrible. You just got to listen. I make you work.
Hello.
So, what's that, honey?
Oh, go ahead.
Let's get you a little closer, and I want to show you. That right there, that's the mouth of a cookie cutter shark. You see those teeth? Those are just meant to bite a chunk out of people. They don't, not people, anything. They do attack people on occasion. But a cookie cutter shark, it doesn't need to kill its prey. It swims up, takes a bite, it gets a whole mouthful of food, and then it's like, okay, that's cool. And then whatever it bit, normally something much larger than it, swims away. Could be a tuna, could be a, we're still zoomed in. Could be a tuna, could be a shark, another shark, it could be a whale. But its prey, it's almost like parasitic, but it's predatory parasitic. Very interesting animal.
Hello, Hopses. I've been watching your feeds religiously lately. Thanks for the awesome content, and thanks for the shirt. That's Zach.
We are just trying to stay active so that people who may not have a chance to have a lot of contact can, talk to folks and yeah.
It already has the shape of a shark. Very cool. I like monster clay because I'm super slow in sculptor, and I don't have to worry about it drying out. Are you making a goblin shark?
I looked at goblin sharks. Goblin sharks are too alien. I'd have to do too long of a proboscis over the mouth, and I think that would get away from me a little bit. And it would be an unwieldy mold, and it wouldn't be any fun to wear. And I have to think about all those things.
I continually reuse the monster clay.
Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely can do that.
A cool idea would be a shark alligator hybrid.
Sharkigator.
Yeah. Is there a reason why most clays are the tan, like brown and or gray colors mostly, unlike a yellow or red or any other color? I always thought of this.
It's hard to see detail. It's hard to see detail in a bright color like a red or a yellow or even a green. You want something that's more muted and neutral so that your light can play off of it.
Mako and hammerheads are my favorite sharks. Hey everybody, glad to see you're well. Didn't realize you were on. Lucky 2001. I hope you have your notifications on. Hit that bell. So
My wife says you have to turn on notifications,
hit the bell.
or I can't play with you anymore.
So that you know you're here. I like Makos and Greenland sharks, says Cobwebs.
I like Greenland sharks, but you know what? Like, every time I see a Greenland shark, it just looks like it needs to get some work done. They're not attractive sharks. They always got those worms on their eyes. It's like, man, you poor guys.
I bought a nice Batman tuck suit and have nowhere to wear it this year, says Spastic Pug.
Well, luckily, they don't go bad.
DG mask is so you can see the shadows and details easier. Cookie cutter sharks are one of my favorites.
Yeah, I just got done looking at them. Okay, and I see this. This is a beautiful classic shark, great white, and I'm going to be looking a lot at that for head shape.
Bill Batchelor says, ooh, 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 the Wi-Fi password. Free Wi-Fi for everyone. Enjoy the stream.
When you're here, sure, come on and
Sure.
just park outside. That's for my Monster Camp students.
Michelle Schulte says, man, I had a phone call and the shark won. Michelle, what were you voting for? She might have voted for something different. Third Degree of Terror says, I'm playing Sculpting, the home game, along with you, starting my Spider Queen mask sculpt.
Great.
Oh my goodness. I want to see that. That's cool. Greenland sharks look like dinosaurs.
They do. They
Hello
do.
from Marlene McCurchin. Marlene, I hope I said that right. Michelle still wants you to do Beastman. Sorry, Michelle. They've already chosen. You took
We're that was an hour ago.
She has a vote. She has a vote. She says Beastman, but too late.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
Michelle.
I now have lots of images to look at. And I can open up my shark folder. Where's my shark folder? I guess I have to go save one more thing just to find out where I was saving the things. I hate it when I do that. I thought it was on my desktop. For all you youngsters out there, this is what using a computer looks like at 45. This is really good. And it's not like I used to be good at this. It's my age. I hit the window where now I'm not as good with technology.
Let's get you some glasses.
Get your face some glasses.
Get your face some glasses. Just finished painting my grouch blank I got a while from you guys. I love
cool.
It. It's Junkyard Hooligans. Man, I want to watch Jaws now. What's the biggest sculpt you've done, mask or prop?
Oh, good Lord.
Cave Troll?
No, Cave Troll's actually, it's not even in the top 6.
What?
It's not even top 10.
That's the biggest I know.
We just did a worm at work, which was about the size of the cab portion of a Volkswagen Bug. I mean, it's a massive sculpture to come out of a sewer tunnel opening, which is 6 feet wide and round. So it's a massive sculpture and a massive mold. Let's find a medium of this image. That image was only saving as a web file, which is the website. And I want to save it as JPEG is fine. And this is desktop. Okay, so it is on my desktop. It's a folder, right? Documents. Why can't I see the folder that I made? Shark, there it is. Okay, so when you're picking your background image, pick one that's not so busy you can't see stuff in it. This is a lovely image of all the Masters of the Universe, not all, this is like a third of them, of all the Masters of the Universe figures fighting. It's a great painting that was part of their promo artwork, but I can lose, I can lose folders and stuff in there. And we're going to set up this folder.
Mako teeth are awesome.
You know what? And when I start going into individual things like teeth, then I'll look up. I will change my stuff, and I will pull up images of just teeth.
For masks, do you have a set list per year that you create?
No. I make what I need most of the time. Now I have a slideshow that's happening of all these different shark images. And while I'm sculpting, I can just look at those and work.
I'm 20, but I'm stuck with computers. Have you ever seen a woebegone shark? They are strange.
Yes, yeah, they're bottom dwellers. They're like carpet sharks.
Hey, Alan, what is the best way to make fluorescent colored mask paint?
Start with fluorescent colored paint, and then mix that paint, 1/3 latex and 1/3 distilled water. The sames, just your color is different.
Hello from FKLE@69. Michelle says, man, my daughter called, but the grandbabies took priority. Honors in the making. One day, I hope he does the Beast Man.
I will do the Beast Man. I will do Beast Man. And I hate to tell you this, but your one vote wasn't going to save Beast Man. Like, it wasn't even close. They all wanted the shark for some reason.
Said Rob could sit inside of it, said Stacy.
Yes, Rob could sit inside of the worm, and you would not see him. He could hide in there and scare people.
Katasia, I'm 46, so I understand the tech wall. Ezekiel says, don't resist the glasses. Stacy, I just realized there's a lag on my TV YouTube that isn't on my phone, Facepalm. What time do you start your live streams?
Oh, whenever I start them. Normally it's around 7 p.m. But I'm not known for my consistency. And what I'm seeing that I have to do is I have to add a little bit here for jaw muscles. And not an insignificant amount, because I'm seeing that in my reference. I'm seeing jaw muscles that happen right over top of the male. And I think I now have a plan of how I'm going to hide the actor's eyes.
Connie also voted Beast Man.
I started on the side opposite you because I'm a jerk. But now this is an area that happens on these guys because they have muscles. These big muscles. I could pare this back a little bit. But now, see, the actor's eyes are tucked right up under this, and you'll be able to see out.
It was shark all the way. That's true. He is very inconsistent. Some of us have been waiting a couple of years for airbrush videos 2 and 4. Michael Lasseter is on.
Oh, jerk face. Who made that guy a moderator?
I'm just reading comments. Do you guys have a fun yard for the kids on Halloween, or are you gone in a hunt normally?
I'm gone. We're in a haunted house. I work, and a haunted house ought to be open on Halloween, and we are.
And even if we were home on Halloween, we're in the country.
Yeah, I wouldn't see any kids.
There's nobody here.
Most of the folks around us are retired. I love where I live, but it's not a happening community for parties and that kind of thing.
So we're at Halloween. We're at the haunted house. But once upon a time, we used to have parties.
Yeah.
Long ago. Those dang airbrush videos.
That's it. I'm working those this week.
They're never going to let you.
I'm going to share them with everybody except Michael Lasseter. I think YouTube will let me exclude people.
And Art Lady Blunzer, she also gives you crap about that. Whatever happened to Saturday night? Are we singing Rocky Horror, Spastic Pug? You're only 20. So.
I don't understand. I've never seen Rocky Horror.
Are we singing Rocky Horror? That was where my brain went. Bet you I'm further out in the middle of nowhere, Speedrun Production says.
It's possible. It's not a contest. I think both our neighborhoods could be like that.
Haha, Spastic Pug, yes, we're singing Rocky Horror.
Okay. I didn't like that where it was sitting, so I moved it. Because it has to meet up with this guy here. Go. All right, so I have to move on now from this clay to a little bit of a different clay. This clay is more new. It's going to be a lot softer, so it'll work faster and easier. But I am going to run into some issues between where I have hard clay versus soft clay. And if I go to rake them both, the one is going to rake a lot more than the other. I just got to be careful. First, let's pop in some eyeballs.
Try living in Australia. We in the middle of nowhere, says Ezekiel. Spastic Pug says, I saw it when I was 15 in our local theater around Halloween time. It's a Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I think that Australia, one of their main exports is nowhere. I think you guys have more nowhere as a continent than many other continents. All right, so these eyeballs are a little big for human. And if I put them in, it looks on line with the great whites. It looks big for the, it's in line with great white. It's in line with the cookie cutter shark. It is not in line with the goblin shark or with the frilled shark. So I might go a little smaller. I have these fake eyes from the Halloween store, and they are a better size here. These eyes are more in line. These are big for the goblin shark and frilled shark. So these are bigger. I think I'm going to go with these though. I like these. These are deodorant balls, and they're just too small. They would be in line with the goblin shark, but I think I want the eyes a little more bigger than that. A little mo bigger.
I was insanely disappointed a few months after buying my house when I found out no one trick-or-treats on my street.
I thought he was going to comment about my YouTube videos. Like, I was insanely disappointed when I started watching your YouTube channel.
No, he's not. Sorry about your issue.
And
Speedrun says, I don't have a neighborhood.
I'm going to drag a little bit here to change the shape of the head so that the shark would have a little bit of forward vision. He is a predator.
I freaking love riffraff. I agree, Cobwebs.
So I had the idea today. I think I can do a version of the Gravedigger that's riffraff. I could do the hair the right way. You know, I think that might be a little bit fun.
Riffraff is a classic one.
He was the most fun-looking character of all of them that I saw.
But you never saw.
No, but yeah, I know what they all look like. I've seen their pictures.
Halloween was a big deal where I grew up. This is John Royski. Katasia. So you said 1/3 latex paint, 1/3 distilled water. What was the other 1/3?
One-third casting latex. The same stuff that you made your mask out of, that's what you mix in for your paint.
Looks like a moray eel.
Okay.
My state is twice the size of Texas. We know a lot about nowhere.
Uh,
Says Ezekiel.
oh, yes, yes.
Being in Ireland and hearing the stories of how Halloween originates here, it's not really a big deal here. Some clubs have fun, but can't take the fam clubbing Halloween gear in shops. Oh my god, cringe. That's DG masks. Please do a grave digger as riffraff.
It will probably happen.
I kind of feel like it's reading Dolphin from the side of the moment, but this is interesting to watch the evolution.
Dolphins look a lot like sharks, so that's fine. Once I put in big honking teeth, it's going to read more shark.
Hi, Alan. Hope you were far away enough in Texas that the tornadoes didn't affect you.
We got none. Boy, we had some wind, but we got no tornadoes.
No one trick-or-treated on my street till I moved in and brought my home haunt here. Now people come from all around. John Royski, that's a thought, you know. People will start to come when they hear about it.
If you build it, they will come.
We did one Halloween that we were when Alan and I were dating, and we were home, and he dressed up, and it was just because we had the way Halloween fell, and the haunt he was working was not open that night, and he put on a costume and we winged it. And the next year we were working, and people kept coming by looking for us. So it really only takes one night of enthusiasm, and people will keep coming back. They're looking for places to go.
Now that is a much heavier brow than most sharks have, but it's on there for now, and I can always peel it back.
Alan, could you recommend a pre-mixed latex paint set so I can repaint my zombie snail?
No, I can't. I recommend that you make your own. Get yourself some latex, get yourself some latex house paint in the colors you want, or even the squeeze acrylic paint from Walmart, and get some distilled water and make yourself some paint.
Cobwebs, I too have a zombie snail.
Because the pre-made paints for latex masks, they're just not as good. But honestly, you have a zombie snail, you can paint it with straight acrylics. You don't have to use, because it's not going to flex like a mask. It's a prop. It's not going to flex like a mask does. No one's going to be putting it on and taking it off, so you can just use acrylic.
Nice to know is the Halloween man in my suburb. That's Ezekiel. How do you get around human eyes lining up with animal eyes and masks?
Very carefully. If you see what I did on this one, is I have just worked to keep where the eyes are, and then I'm going to start working this mouth away, and when I put teeth in, I'll make sure that you can see in, but you can see out, but the other people can't see in.
We had a tornado last week in Ohio, and then snow the next day. Crazy weather for April. What's the longest time ever have you ever spent on a sculpt and on a mask itself? Do you skip the sculpt to sculpt or go back to others?
No, I finish one. I don't like bouncing back and forth. I want to have all my thought processes on this mask. I'm going to direct all my energy at it, and then I'm going to take it out, and then when it's done, then I can move on.
Do you think that we can expect a bigger crowd if the virus clears up before October because people are wanting to get out of the house?
You'll get some of that. You'll also get some people who are afraid of crowds. So it's going to be both kinds. So I think it's going to even out. We're also in an election year here in the States. So the election year is also going to bring numbers down from what they normally would be. Election years are normally 15% down. I think we're going to get a probably 20% stir crazy boost and probably a 10% loss due to people being just afraid of crowds. I think smart haunts would add more days like opening up during the week, add more Thursdays and Wednesdays. We're going to see those become a little bit busier as people are just trying to avoid crowds. That was a lot, I'm sorry. But I have been working with and on that. I'm on the Haunted Attraction Association. I'm on the board for that. And I'm talking with those guys every day about haunts and what's happening in their area, what's happening in my area.
What's the difference in using distilled water or tap water to mix with paint?
Distilled, okay, so let's start with tap water. Tap water has minerals in it. Get a clean glass, put tap water in it and look at it. All those little particles floating around, those are things that's going to make latex solidify. So you don't want them in your paint mix, or else your paint is going to start clogging way faster than it should have. I'm just not digging the shark's lower jaw. So the lower jaw of a shark is a little weird. It unhinges and kind of rocks forward when it's biting. In our brain, we're used to seeing the silhouette of a shark with its mouth closed. It looks very different when it's biting. I have to do a little bit of a bite action here just because this is I have to do a bit of a bite action because I want an open mouth. I want to see those teeth.
Do you think the virus will get rid of trick-or-treating?
I don't know. Trick-or-treating, I hate to say this, it's kind of dying a slow death anyway. We'll see. I don't know. I hope it doesn't, but it's certainly possible.
What about a water filter and put that water in it? Does that make it better? For distilled water?
Just buy some distilled water. It's $1.
The next thing is so easy, just buy distilled water.
It's $1. Just buy the distilled water. Every grocery store has it. Don't try to get around using distilled. Just use the distilled. This is just some what I think are fat deposits that are happening on these Sharkos I'm looking at. But I want to put these on so I have a reference for the mouth. Wife, could you hand me that beverage back?
Yes, as soon as I put on your sweater.
Okay.
Yes, I'll put on your sweater. Turn the heater on because it is chilly.
Thank you.
Yes, cool.
Hello, Scott Colhart. I saw that on my tiny little phone screen. Okay, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there on this guy. This is not very shark-like, but I think I can build that out and fix it. And this might be one of those that all comes together at kind of the same time. It looks terrible, looks terrible, looks terrible. Then it looks good. We'll see. We'll see. It could just continue to look terrible the entire time. Because a shark head and a human head are very different. And I'm trying to make a shark creature with a human skull inside of it. And that's always a little bit difficult.
Alan, I'm trying to find wasting latex from Reynolds, so you know what they've listed under. Sorry, I cannot find it.
Wasting?
Wasting latex?
How'd they spell
WASTING.
it? I'm not familiar. I'm sorry.
Known nucleation points in distilled water. Any particulates will overcome and become clumps.
Yeah.
I came in a little late on the show. Are you doing a mixture of sharks or trying to go strictly cookie cutter shark?
I'm doing a mix. I'm making a shark-like head with some fun influences.
Trunk or treat is killed Halloween. Trick or treat.
I don't know if Trunk or Treat has. I think a lot of things have. In all honesty, I think the news killed it. I think as soon as people in Baltimore hearing about all the child murderers and stuff in Chicago and vice versa, there's not more bad people in the world percentage-wise. You just hear about all of them because of the internet and because of media. So, yeah. But you guys didn't come here to hear me talk about that.
What type of rivets do you suggest for elastic straps to attach to a half mast?
I like double cap rivets, which I normally just get from Tandy Leather. There are cheaper places online, but I have a business account at Tandy, so my prices are actually pretty good.
Michelle Schulte says, I just joined the AJA. I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, very good. That's awesome. It's a good organization. Our work is cut out for us because, you know, haunted houses, the hill I'm going to die on is that a haunted house is a professional business. And I just get combated on that all the time by some of the unprofessional crap that haunted houses do, you know. And there's things that are okay when you're a home haunter, like making your walls out of plastic and stuff, that you cannot do at all as a pro haunter because there's, you know, the fire risk involved. I got to step away from it just to see what it looks like, and I think once I start getting teeth in here, it'll read more like shark. But this brow has to calm down. I can tell that that's a little strong for sharks. They have a much more subtle brow, and I need to work material under the eye because that eye is a little buggy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of clay I think is big enough for 2 of those eye bags I got to make. I'm going to run it out, break it in half. Now I know when I put it on each side, it's going to be the same amount of material.
Do you think we will see appointment times or more VIP options?
I do. I absolutely do. I think that more haunts are going to push this year for time ticketing, which they kind of should have been doing anyway, and this is going to make them do it. And I think that the VIP option is going to fill up because you just want to be with less people.
Okay, back to the original question from Larry Hughes. I'm trying to find casting latex from Reynolds. Do you know what they listed under? I cannot find it.
I'll tell you that Biddy Mold Supply has it. Fright Props has it. I don't know how close you are to Reynolds, but I just go to Biddy.
Thank you, Ryan Simpson, for the donation. He says thank you for teaching.
Thank you. A donation?
He donated $2 to Super Chat.
He super chatted. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Who did that?
Ryan Simpson.
Ryan Simpson.
Are you making a dragon? Oh,
No.
You're making a shark.
Yes.
Let's see. It's Rob O'Brien just joined us. Hi, Rob.
I'm making a shark.
I'm making a shark.
All right, so I want to put some nostrils in here just because I'm a nostril man. I don't even know why sharks have nostrils because they don't breathe with their nose.
Would timed ticketing help with throughput bunching? This is Stacy.
Of course. Yes, it would. It takes a lot to get down, though. You kind of have to work at it a little bit. And time ticketing is something we've been looking at, but I haven't been willing to jump onto it because you have to have most of your sales as pre-sales on the internet. So we're not there as dark hour. Dark hour is we run about 40%. As soon as we get to about 60%, we're going to slide over to time ticketing.
Thank you for sharing your workshop, your joy, and your time. I know that you have many fans on this side of the world. See you next time. I'll watch the recording. High hours here. That is Hugo from Brazil.
Thank you, Hugo.
Thank you, Hugo. I have family in Chicago, so I was going to save on shipping. I just had them pick it up for me.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I'm afraid I don't know. I can't help you too much because I get casting latex from a couple places. I get it from Fright Props. I get it from Biddy Mold Supply. I get it from Screamline Studios. I'm pretty sure that you can order it from Gorgalore also. So there are lots of places to get it. I'm coming in here and I'm cleaning up inside of this mouth area.
Right now, it is reading as a very big eel. Not a bad thing. Creepy creatures, says Justin Hill.
Yeah, it's going to be real hard to get this. You know what I mean? It's not going to be 100% shark. It's going to be some kind of a mix of shark and man, simply because the human skull that has to be in there, someone has to be able to look out of it. If I was going straight sculpture, yeah, I could sculpt a shark. But we have to consider the human element, and an actor is going to have to work inside of this. I am a mask first, sculpture second person. So I always err on the side of the, they got to see and breathe and all that stuff. And honestly, the further back I can get these eye holes, the better. Think about an eye hole in a mask is like a knot in a fence. If you are 5 inches away from the knot hole in the fence, you can't see that much on the other side. But if you put your eye right up to that knot hole, you can see everything. And you might not even see the wood around your eye because you're looking through a knot hole.
Is Transworld canceled this year?
Yes, Transworld is canceled. All of their literature says it's postponed until 2021. And they give the date of next year's Transworld. So, yeah, it's canceled.
I usually get it from monster makers. They're talking about clay.
Latex, probably.
I'm sorry, yes, latex. Man, it's looking good. Heading for some shut-eye. Good night, Gene Sanford.
Good night.
So far, it looks like you could also repurpose the shark mask as a lizard, too.
Yes, and I probably would still be able to because of the texture involved. Once you put scales on it, it's going to really change, the head shape quite a bit. Now I'm looking for open mouths and I'm seeing what's happening inside of the mouth. And I'm not really seeing a lot of that right now. They're very smooth. I mean, they're smooth. Smoothity, smoothity, smooth, smooth, smooth. I could take away a lot of this. And having this big block in the middle is terrible for your vision because then you have a right eye, left eye situation happening. And I don't want that. I would much rather both eyes be able to see and give you that nice binocular vision, which makes humans so awesome. I mean, think about right now, my eyes have to work individually, and they can focus on things that are further out. But if If you make it 2 knot holes, it makes it very difficult. So I'm glad I'm getting to move some of this clay out of the way.
Question about perma-wet. I cannot find any good reviews about it anywhere. I hand paint my masks, so what type of brush do you recommend? I also use makeup sponges at times. Thanks for the info.
I use sponges sometimes. Most of my painting I do with chip brushes. 1-inch chip brush for all my base coats and things. And then I buy these little blue handle brushes that are 1/2 inch. And I buy just bunches of them from Amazon. Let me show you a little, oh, here's a couple of them. These guys are kind of worked to death. They're normally all the same color, but this little, like 1/3 of an inch or so brush. And it's like a package of 50, I think it's $3. You know, and then if you want some nice fine brushes, Games Workshop actually has some real nice little brushes. And for painting miniatures.
Watched Comedy of Terrors today and had great fun.
Comedy of Terrors.
Personally think you taking some of that off the mouth is helping a lot to look more like a shark.
Yeah, because sharks have these big open mouths, you know, and I think that getting to that, let's say right there's my stone, getting to that is going to be important for people seeing that. And you know what, once the shark teeth go on this, that's going to just make it read like crazy. I hope. It will at least help. There's my nose in there. So I found the tip of my nose. And I think I'll be able to put these eye holes in. And remember, the tip of my nose was chewed off a little bit, so I actually have to pat it out with clay.
The tip of the snout should taper down and back to the mouth. It looks more beak-like right now.
Yeah, I'll get there. Yeah, I think that's where we're getting dinosaur and lizard from. It actually has to point a little more. It needs to be a little more pointed up here. And I think I got to move that point up here so that I do get the taper that I need. And I'm not going to like finish the mouth or anything, but you do have to, you know, complete your series of thoughts in an area before you can move on to that next area.
Comedy of Terrors is a film where Peter Lorre and Vincent Price is funeral home directors who end up killing people for business.
Nice.
Could you open that up and just have the actor behind a red veil with the teeth obscuring?
I could, but that sure is less fun to sculpt.
I thought it was an eel.
Okay. Eels are scary. That doesn't make me upset. Yeah, this is going to go through a lot of stages to get to where it needs to be.
Needs latex shrimp in the teeth.
Was that cobwebs and candlesticks?
No, that was 1980 MKE.
Because someone kept saying I should put shrimp in the fish man's teeth.
No, that's not cobwebs.
Am I seeing that right? There's 83 people
Don't you
watching.
love backseat designers?
Yeah. You know what? It happens.
I logged in a bit late, so you might have already answered this, but are you going to sculpt a fin and create a suit for this as well?
Suit is a very strong word. I don't think I'll do a whole suit for this, but I may end up, I will definitely finish out the head, and I'm going to do the fin in EVA foam because I'm going to mount this mask on a helmet, and then I can bulk out the whole thing. very flat here, flat, flat, flat. And then it'll taper down. And I think I'm going to start the mouth a little further back. So I'll bring that to here. And then that top lip kind of happens down here more. And all this folds in towards it. That reads more sharky to me right off the bat. You know what? This might help you too because you had a gray thing right there killing that profile.
Jonesy.
You should go say hey.
Looks like a dark crystal character.
Okay.
Put a hand in his mouth. See what happens when you let all these people pick your projects?
You all have oral fixations, just so you know. Put some shrimp in his mouth. Put a hand in his mouth.
I'm not a seafood guy at all. Cobwebs. Plastic Ninja is here. Will you need to fill the nose? It's mounted on a sock mask. If it's not mounted on a sock mask.
No, because I'm just going to do a nice thick latex pour. And it's not going to be mounted on a sock mask. It's going to be mounted on a foam head.
In my mind, I'm seeing Man Shark from The Flash.
Yes. King Shark is that character's name. King Shark. And yeah, he's got a big old shark head. He's a street shark.
Hello from Giselle Perrin.
Hello.
Werewolf Shark.
It's a were shark.
Were Shark.
Very cool in D&D. I once had a
Jonesy, what are you
campaign where some of the big bads were were shark pirates.
doing? Was digging it the whole way, but now it's on. So sharky. I think where the muzzle part meets the head should have a smoother transition. It still looks like it has a forehead.
Oh, right here? Yeah, I can fill that in later. I ain't even looking at that right now.
Land Shark from Carol Burnett.
Land shark.
Saturday Night Live.
It is getting more sharky,
Yeah,
which is the plan. You got an orange boy?
I do.
Yeah, so we had people chainsawing on our house today.
Oh,
We're in a log home and we're having some repairs done. We're in a cabin basically, and it's very stressful for the cats to be in the house and hear chainsaws, you know, on the walls.
pressure
And
washer.
if you've never heard a chainsaw on the wall of your home, it's disheartening.
It scared the kitties.
Yes.
Oh, Stacy. Yes, I had him in my arms.
The wife didn't like it either. She actually could not watch any of the house surgery happening.
No, not my house.
Yeah, it's getting way more sharky. This is the way.
The nose point has made a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, and it's little things. Okay, so when you start a sculpture, all right, big things happen in the beginning because you're framing the house, and you start framing a house, and you think, man, we're going to have this house done in 2 weeks because we got all 4 walls up today. On the second day, we got the whole roof up, the whole roof framing up. But then it all stalls because you're doing the electrical, you're doing, you know, other things that just, you can't see as much progress, but progress is happening. So right now we're still framing, and we're still enjoying that framing process. Yeah, that kind of killed the forehead, I think. I think enough.
It's all subjective because it's an amalgam of sharks.
It is. I mean, we're just doing something that looks cool, you know? That's what does it have to look like? Well, it's got to look cool. That's what matters.
Chainsaw in the woods in Texas scares anybody.
Yeah.
Pretty Wicked Desire says hello.
Hello, pretty wicked desires.
Looks more like a shark. I love it. Well, that's cool. Love the sculpt. Just tuning in. I have a question for you.
Hit me. Don't physically hit me.
MacGyver way of thought. So waiting for that question.
Yeah. Ask away. We're
Will
here.
you have to, this is a different person, will you have to stuff the nose to keep it from collapsing when it's latex?
No, I don't think so. Because it's a nice round shape, and it's well supported all the way out. I might do some flutes inside of the mouth, like Maximilian armor. That'll make it even stronger.
The nose being up makes it look like it's in attack mode.
It is in attack mode. Hey, important shark stuff to do.
Street sharks, haha. Now I am just keep seeing it in my head. He looks annoyed too, awesome. What are street sharks?
Yeah, I want them to be. What are street sharks? Street sharks are an action figure line from the very early 90s that were men with shark heads, basically. And there was a bunch of them.
Are you going to do this shark from start to finish on YouTube live for us?
Sure.
Take that to the beach this summer. Make it waterproof.
I have a pool. I might wear it all the time.
Foam PR latex teeth? Or no, so foam or latex teeth.
Latex, I'm going to sculpt them in.
Important shark stuff like paperwork, which is why he's annoyed.
Yeah.
I do paperwork.
He's their staple remover. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble in middle school for I grabbed somebody with the staple puller. I'm like, man, look at the teeth on this. Arr! I got him right in the back of the arm.
Alan referenced fluted Maximilian armors. Just made my day. Warren.
Yeah, it makes it stronger. I mean, that's a design principle that I hold dear. You know, that's
Warren are related.
that's one of those little things that if you know it, that folding something makes it stronger, then you know your life has changed.
This is going to be a pretty big mold.
Yeah.
That would make a great foam-filled head. That's
Yeah.
Cobwebs, who just had his Fishman.
Yeah. Says the guy who just bought a foam-filled head. Okay, so that's a little structure happening in there now. And I think I'm going to start laying in some teeth here. Actually, I'm going to lay in some gums because the gums are more important than the teeth. I do have a big shark to make soon. I'm making a big upholstery foam shark. Probably a 15-footer for my monster museum. I already have the pattern. I patterned it from a 2-foot toy that I bought at Walmart.
Cobweb says, I love foam-filled heads.
Well, everybody needs a hobby.
A shark head would look pretty cool next to a gillman head. Food for thought.
Someone said that who wasn't Cobwebs and Candlestick.
That was Plastic Ninja.
Yeah. Yeah, Plastic Ninja likes to poke ant piles.
That would make an awesome puppet.
Yes, it could.
This is hell yeah, Ninja.
All right, so now I'm looking for a very particular picture because I want to look at how this area gets treated on a real shark, what happens. The goblin shark, its mouth happens inside and there's a fold on the outside. The great white kicks back, so I'm going to do that.
So will the 5-meter foam shark be rigid or articulated?
It'll be upholstery foam, so he won't be rigid, but he will also not be articulated. He'll be floppy.
That moment when you remember you have an essay due tonight, Speedrun Productions.
Hope it's on sharks. Because we've dropped a lot of shark knowledge in the last couple hours. How long have we been on?
89 minutes.
Okay, an hour and a half.
You can foam fill it. I'm in. Cobwebs. The sculpt is starting to channel its inner flying tiger's nose art and looking fine.
Got it.
Cobweb says, I'll slap it on a plaque. You run into that head in the dark water, you'll soil your swimmers, Ezekiel.
It would not be fun to come nose to nose with it, that's for sure. There is, I'm not a big cusser, but I'll happily say, there is ass in the ocean I cannot kick. If a bear comes at me, I can pick up a log and I can upset a bear. I can make a bear work for it. The same is true for a wolf, the same is true for a lion, the same is true for a tiger. I ain't saying I'd win, but I'm saying he's going to be like, oh, that wasn't the easiest meal I ever got. But sharks, barracudas, those are rough, man. I say nay nay.
Oh, now that's all I see is a flying tiger.
Hold me closer, flying tiger. See, it's the syllables.
You make your own big mouth Billy Bass.
I suppose I could, if I hated myself.
Hello, Thomas R. Plastic Ninja, think you could fight a barracuda?
No. Those are like bullets with teeth. You know, that's what barracuda look like.
Candlestick says, Alan laughs, but I'm serious. I'll put it on a weathered plaque. Cobwebs.
Well, why I'm laughing is how many things I put on plaques at the Monster Museum. It's a big part of what I end up having to do.
One scare in the water is enough for me. Hammerhead 1, Ezekiel 0. Sean the shark. Oh, are we naming the shark?
I have not.
We haven't started naming it yet.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to name it Sean. You better work harder than that. I don't know who that was.
That was 1980 MKE. MacGyver question. We're ready, Thomas R. What's your MacGyver?
Come on, Thomas R.
Shark of the Covenant. That's great.
Like one you don't want
Have
to
you
open.
ever made a mask out of liquid latex? And that is not the MacGyver question, but it is a question.
Yes, I have.
I wonder if the barnacles will find their way onto this costume.
It's possible.
What will a foam-filled head cost with shipping to Indiana? Cobwebs.
Well,
Oh my goodness. Keith,
See,
send us
here-
an email.
here's the kicker, all right? Right now, it's not going to have a fin as it stands. Because I'm going to put the fin on after with EVA foam the same way I did on the fish mat. So, let's make sure it looks sharky enough to hang out by itself. And I'm cutting these big rounded pieces out in order to use as gums. Let's put these in. And we're pretty close to teeth, guys. This is coming together a little bit ridiculously fast. But again, I'm going to be picking at it for a while too. It's not like it's going to be done. And the teeth are so small and so thin, I don't want to add them right now. They're going to be one of the last things that I add because they'll dry out fast. I want those nice, thin, sharp teeth.
I love swimming with the ocean critters.
I don't.
I do.
I like swimming with things I could drown if I needed to. Like fellow beachgoers.
Is that Mr. Rathburn from Arthur?
I never watched Arthur.
Making masks for a family, surgical type. Any thought for the metal nose piece to be seen?
Most of the how-tos I've seen have said paperclip. Now, that's what was included in the ones, I've watched a couple videos on making them. I saw paperclip as the piece that was in there that fitted to the nose. But floral wire, I believe, would be better. Just paperclip is more accessible. If you have floral wire, that would work well. I always have a good stash of floral wire.
Looks evil enough for my swamp witch to hang out with. Cobwebs. Hair
Boy.
clip is a thin gauge of metal, pliable and easy to get. Hair clip is they also suggested pipe cleaners.
Yeah? Pipe cleaners, I don't know if they're strong enough.
Cubas move faster than you could think. When driving, we keep a Hawaiian sling to scare away sharks. It works pretty good unless it's boat size. Dorsal fins are way back. It really should not need one. That's cobwebs.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. It's a man who knows what he likes. I like it when you talk yourself into buying things from me. I don't mind that at all. I'm trying to talk you out of it. I'm a terrible businessman.
You are.
But you guys all knew that. So what am I doing right now? I'm raking this whole sculpture, which is giving me a smoothness and an evenness that I did not previously have. This rake is pulling the high spots into the low spots, and we're evening out, and we're going to have a surface covered in fine lines, but overall smoother than what we started with. All these dips and valleys that are on there that your eye notices them, and you would especially notice them when you try to paint it. And it tells me where the real low spots are that I have to add clay. Just so you guys can see what I'll let that run through one. That's a shark, I swear, the one in this hand.
Johnson asks, I've been watching Shark Week for 25 years. Have you ever heard of the game BioShock?
Of course. Big Daddy is a often referenced character from that. And Little Sister, I think it is.
Cobweb says, does 200 get one? I could have worked that out. Keith.
Do you want it already mounted on the plaque? That's the question.
I should be working, but the call of the notification was too strong. A siren call. Incredible sculpt so far. Hi, Lisa.
Thank you.
You don't make friends with sharks in Australia. Are you using soil, clay, plasticine? Boy,
I'm not using plasticine clay. I am using water-based clay. This is just regular old water-based clay. It's not even wet clay.
I would name the shark Quint. That's great.
That's not a bad name.
That's great. Candlestick says, I will make the plaque. Kevin Donovan, Candy Graham, shark.
Land shark,
I always
Candy
want to
Graham.
be in a cage with the shark. Spencer Calico. Plastic Ninja says, you want the shark in the cage with you. Y'all gonna make me watch that movie. I love that movie.
Cage goes in the water.
It's such a good
You
movie.
go in the water.
Oh my goodness.
Shark in the water.
What a great bunch of people.
Right now is I'm refining. Yes, everything I'm doing is taking it closer and closer to shark-like. But this is the little stuff. I'm glad I'm already on little stuff. I'm happy with where I'm going. This is not what I thought I'd be sculpting tonight.
What did you think he was going to
I thought it was going to be Beastman.
Michelle's going to be upset.
I
Don't be upset, Michelle.
I like me some
She
Beastman.
would like that. Seconding Quint, says Stacy. What are your thoughts on... Michelle says yes for Quint. What are your thoughts on lighting and sound for the underwater haunt? This year is going to be amazing.
Who said that?
Lisa Arendt. Gosh, Lisa, I hope I said that right.
Well, Jake and I are kind of talking every day sound wise. This time it's allowing. We should have probably the best audio we've ever had, simply because that's all Jake can work on right now. He can work on audio. Jake is my technical director at Dark Hour. He can work audio from home and really have time to mix custom tracks, really have the time to think about the set. And he's pressuring me for some finalized set lists so that he can nail the sound, you know. But yeah, it's a very exciting time. Lighting wise, we've talked a lot about the lighting, and we have some plans and how we're going to do some things. So I don't want to give a lot of that away, but I think Dark Hour is going to be really incredible this year. And you know what? Last year Halloween, going through Dark Hour, that's one of the top 5 haunts I've ever been through in my life. Now, obviously, I design haunted houses that I like, so you know it's harder for me to go through another haunt and say, "Oh, that's one of the best haunts I've ever been through." You know, I designed the Dark Hour quite a bit. I do. I reach out to the build crew and they help and stuff, so a lot of their flavors in it too. But I was very happy with our October show. All right, so there's one picture here. Go ahead, honey.
Thank you, Michael Lassiter. $50 says should have been Beast Man.
Oh, that was very kind.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, for Quint. They like Quint. What are you gonna call this mask? Sharkinator. I'm going to be Big Daddy for Halloween. I was going to put the barnacles on the helmet.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Pipe cleaners make great nose pieces. So, Beast Man tomorrow night? That's what they're saying. It's a C, Beast Man.
Let's see if I'm allowed to sculpt tomorrow night. I have to get enough progress done during the day on orders, because when I'm working on this, I'm not working on someone's order. Now I'm in pretty good shape on orders, so I'm not worried, but still.
Hello, Maestro K. Hope you're doing well. Whale song is so haunting. What a cool idea. Kurt Mattia. Okay, in back so we can start over. It should have black eyes, like a doll's eyes. Y'all are gonna make me watch this movie. I love this movie.
Yeah, Jaws is a great movie.
It's a great movie. That'd be a great job doing audio for Dark Hour, says Ezekiel.
Yeah, I bet you'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah, Cobweb says, true gangsta MJ. Noah's shark is Spastic Pug's vote.
Oh.
Cracked glass tinted blue over the light gives a good water effect. Pretty wicked desire. Stacy says, I'm so ready to go back to haunting sobs.
Enjoy making those hundreds of masks, yeah.
Spencer Calicut, does this come in clown? I don't know what she gets that.
I would completely do a shark clown. I would absolutely do that.
Oh my god, no, don't.
Anytime someone posts on one of I moderate Latex Mask Central, which is a Facebook group, and anytime someone says, "Hey, let me see all the clown masks you have," I always post a picture of one of my werewolves and say, "Well, he was a clown before he got turned into a werewolf," because I'm a jerk.
Sure.
What were we talking about?
Well, you went on a tear.
Oh.
Where can I get EVA foam?
You can get it lots of places. Most of what I use comes from Harbor Freight floor mats. They're lovely. It is 6 pieces that are 2 foot by 2 foot, $10.
When do you ship orders?
I try to go to the post office twice a week. We are under what they call shelter in place as a law right now, where I'm at. So we're not supposed to make any more trips than necessary. So I'm not going to the post office every day. I'm trying to go Tuesday and Friday. Sometimes that Friday get pushed to Saturday if I'm on the cusp of getting something else finished.
Just promise me no Sharknado.
You know what? If there's 3 or 4 of these, I can get them spinning in a circle. Guarantee nothing.
Shark clown would be cool.
It actually might.
I can see someone in a 3-piece suit wearing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheet shark. No, that's not a Jordan.
A sheet goes.
Could be wearing giant white character gloves.
Have this sheet ghost come up to you, and and you're not scared, and then the sheet comes off, and it's a shark, and you're like, ah!
There's a shark clown song.
Yeah, a sheet ghost sounds like something that the land shark would do for Halloween.
I tried to watch last night live, but it kept wanting to load and tag.
Lag, probably.
Lag, I'm sorry, you're right, load and lag. You're right.
I'm looking for a bucket of water. Here it is.
Is there a shark clown song? Rhett and Link shark clown song. What's his name going to be? Haven't named him yet.
People are throwing some things out there, but he does not have an official name.
Everybody's crazy about a shark dressed man. Shark dressed.
Is Horror Beauty on?
Yes.
She is?
Yes.
Well, when it's time, and I don't think we're there yet, we'll have Horror Beauty collect name options and decide the name. This is just a black sponge. It's often, a makeup sponge, and it's pretty rough. But it's going to do the same kind of thing that my raking was doing. I'm not a fan of this lower lip, but I'm not messing with it right now. I'm kind of afraid of it. So I'm kind of dancing around it. Eventually, I will address it. But right now, I'm not addressing it. I'm avoiding it. I'm treating it like that girl you met at the roller rink when you were 13, and she was really nice to hang out with, but you have other priorities. So I'm just not going to address it. I'm not going to call the bottom of the shark jaw back. I'm just going to go on about my life.
Oh.
You okay, honey?
Cobwebs and candlesticks. Just threw it down.
What do you do?
You're making one of these for him. I'm just going to put it that way.
Oh, did he throw money at
He
us?
just threw it down, and
Boy.
you're making one for him, if not that one.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
He gets the first pull.
I think he just laid claim to this shark. Oh my goodness. I've lost my spot. Oh my goodness.
Anybody who contributes to the channel, thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. This is for the whole world. This is not a time of plenty, and I've started kind of many endeavors. One of which I started back YouTube Wednesday. I'm very happy about that, and we've kicked up our live streaming game to make sure people have some entertainment. Because if one more person watches Tiger King than really has to, then I'm slouching. You know?
Beauty says hello. Can you do a custom clown mask sculpt from Spencer Calico?
I could. Now, my normal rule, all right, is a half mask is $150. And my other rule is that clowns cost 3 times as much. So a clown half mask would be $450. Now, do you have an idea already for this clown mask? I'm not going to say no clowns, but there's a lot of clown experts out there who make a lot of clowns. I don't do that. I don't even like clowns. But if you want to do something cool enough, we can talk. But if you want a clown like every other clown, I'm not your guy.
Rob O'Brien says Shark Brody. Will you do several paint variants like blood and no blood and or any of the color variants? Or do you have one solid already choice for the painted shark?
I didn't even know I was sculpting this when I walked in the room tonight, so I have not even thought about it.
His name is Finnegan. Not Bruce. Call it lawyer.
Finnegan, lawyer.
Mr. Jimmy says Tiger Shark King.
Oh,
Nope.
that's clever.
Where do you get those sponges?
I got these from a science teacher supply store. I got a lot of them, but maybe I got them from Amazon and they just came from a science teacher supply store. It's okay. It's okay.
Will there be man-eating mermaids or demonic sirens along with the shark?
Well, yeah. So these are Decker Company, tack sponge, number 14 DTS, fine pore sponge, multi-purpose sponge, suitable for cleaning tack and polishing leather, cleaning small crevices in small and large animals. Oh, okay. Decker Manufacturing Company. And these come in, I think, a 12-pack. And I got like 6 12-packs.
When did the puppy sneak back there?
I don't know. I was probably just blocking. Once he finished terrorizing the world outside, I guess.
Have you considered making a snapping turtle head mask?
I would really enjoy that. I love snapping turtles. They're one of my favorite animals. Alligator snapping turtles. I love them.
I'm an expert on traditional circus clowns, but a lot of good that's done me. It's spastic fun. Just a creepy looking face with some blood, said Spencer Calicut regarding the clown.
Gotcha. You know what? Why don't you send me a message and I can point you towards people who do clowns way more than I do, and they might even do them better. Mr. Jimmy, I think, was on.
He's still on.
Mr. Jimmy does good clowns. Mr. Jimmy, you might want to shoot them a message. You got to forgive me because I don't always hear the names that Shannon, and I don't see them together, so I'm not as good with the names and who is on and who is asking what as my wife is, because she can see both of that at the same time.
I guess Cobwebs gets to choose the paint color.
Yeah.
On this first one, that's for sure. Who is your favorite horror movie character? My favorite is Jason Voorhees.
My favorite horror movie
Well, that's easy.
character. So horror movie, that tightens it down. There's some easy answers. Probably the Wolfman is my favorite, without a doubt. I love werewolves and the classic Wolfman, really awesome. If I'm going to nail down one particular Wolfman, let's go with Oliver Reed in Curse of the Werewolf. I love that look. But then, you know, I also really love the look of the wolf creature in Bram Stoker's Dracula. That was beautiful. Very well done suit. One of my favorite monster costumes. Okay, so we're getting there, guys. We're getting there on the outside of this. I'm going to figure out a texture for him. I think the shark's going to have that rough skin, so I'm going to give him a brushy, savvy texture.
I can totally see him as a punk shark with a mohawk and a nose ring.
Yeah.
Nose ring, now you're speaking my language, says Plastic Ninja.
He hates his
I don't play
dad.
when it comes to sea creatures, says Cobwebs and Canvas. You're not. You're going to get this one. A fish hook in the side of the mouth. I have a pet snapping turtle who is friendly, says Jim Obitz.
I had snapping turtles for years as pets. My favorite was named Tortilla, scourge of all aquariums east of the Mississippi. And he was an excellent alligator snapping turtle, as far as alligator snapping turtles go. And we're just giving this some texture now. And it's too early to put on texture, I'm going to be honest with you, but I want to see it. So I'm doing it.
If you do a snapping turtle, let me know. I got some skull pictures of prehistoric snapping turtles, says Michael Lassinger.
Oh, cool.
Paint job is Alan's choice, says Cobwebs and Candlesticks.
There's
Shark.
There's a shark that comes up on this that has this real beautiful line, and it just happened, but I'll spin it here, you can see it. There's a shark that pops up, and boy, that looks a lot like a penis, and I apologize every time that little image comes up. It's a guy holding a little shark, and it just looks like yeah, puppet show. So, there's a shark that pops up, and I love the line that goes along the side of him where it breaks up from one color to the next. And I'm definitely going to put that on him. He's got a little bit of it here, but it's real prominent on this guy. Look at that line right there. You know, it's just beautiful. Now, if it were a knife, I would call it a Hamon line or Hammond line, where you can see that the temper happens in the blade, the Hamon. That's what it is. Okay.
Huh? Yeah, I've gotta add Cobwebs and Candlesticks to your to-do list.
I'm not even done sculpting it. It's already on my to-do list.
I have already put it on your shop honeydew list.
So all right. So technically, I'm working on things that are not on my to-do list tonight.
We are now.
And so does that mean I should stop him and start on Beastman? Is that what that means?
That's you're just all you're doing now is inciting problems. You must cease.
Okay. Consider
No,
me ceased.
I'm ceasing you.
Oh, feel ceased.
You must cease.
So I'll be texturing the other side. I could flip it around so you can see. I think I like that. I like that front view, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm kind of digging him. What's that, love?
I'm catching up. I love sea monsters. I'm a huge Gillman fan. That's Cobwebs and Candlesticks. This is what no individually sculpted tentacles. Let's see. You have a favorite bad movie? Mine's Robot Monster.
Yes, I do. It's Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer. It is bad, it's modern, but it is very fun. And it has some good monsters in it.
Mine is a common snapper I raised from a baby. I caught him in 1989. I still have him. They're talking about their snapping turtles.
That's awesome.
I showed you my cookie cutter shark. Please respond. Zach. Oh my God, Zach.
Here you go, Zach. Here's the visual for that.
No, stop. What are you doing?
There's a picture that goes along with it, but it's just the guy, but he's at like this angle.
No. Oh, Zach.
Yeah.
Stop.
I showed you my cookie cutter shark. Please respond. That's funny.
This is where I'm not cool. Beastman, 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 says Ezekiel. And you say it like I poke anthills, Plastic Ninja. Oh, you guys.
Maybe I do it too.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so now I'm going to go through at least 2 full cycles of watching this, and I'm looking for nostrils. Nostril. Nostril. Where are they? There's a nostril. What? Nostril. Nostril. Nostrils. What?
You. I know what you did.
No. Nostrils. Nostril. I
Okay.
can't see it in that picture.
I can imagine a giant scar going down his eye.
Right there at the tip is a nostril. Nostril. Yeah.
Did you hear the giant scar? Did you hear what I said?
You said.
I can imagine a giant
Yes.
scar going down his eye.
And that is something that I would add after in order to make him an individual. Because I'm not going to have one were shark running around dark hour. I'll probably have 2 or 3.
Hello, Alan, longtime fan. I need your help. DJ Styles.
Okay. What you got?
Okay, this is a Bubba Hotep is a great movie. You should turn it into an animatronic mounted head like Billy Bats. It would work great with hillbilly teeth.
Yeah. Hillbilly teeth. No.
Oh my God, Zach printed the screen again. Oh, Zach, the worst. I never thought we were gonna meet the water buffalo. Everybody has a water buffalo. God, you guys. Alan, you should have done that.
What?
A human skull sculpt in its mouth may be cool.
And that's something I could add after.
Okay, here's your help. I'm going to attempt my first Myers mask. Wet clay or oil clay?
You want oil-based. It's going to be easy. It's going to, long term, it's going to be, because the key to a Myers mask is smoothness. You're going to have to really get it smooth. And wet clay just takes too much damage and stuff. So having a hard surface like Monster Clay or plasticine is going to help you out when you go to smoothing it. And I'm watching that very carefully for, and I'm going to pick one nostril. And where does this one nostril go? Then I'll mirror it on the other side.
For some reason, the photo off the man holding the little shark makes me think he's scolding him. Good night, cobwebs and candlesticks.
Good night, sir.
So thank you so much. That's DJ Styles about which clay to use.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be too soft if you use wet. Now, I like it. I would sculpt one in wet, but I wouldn't recommend it. Coming back and looking at it down this way is very important for your symmetry and stuff. You do want to make sure that it works in all those directions.
I love the 2018 version.
Wasn't that Rob Zombie? Because that mask is so beat up, you could sculpt it in wet. It's got a lot of little nicks and weathering and stuff in it, and wet is really good for that. Wife, what do you think about this shark?
I believe he's sold, is what I think about him.
You want to get up and take a look?
Update your to-do list now because you added to it tonight.
And now there is some wrinkling and stress that's happening on a lot of the sharks right in here. So I'm going to do that. It's kind of between the nostrils. This is really showing now that this skin is stretching. Wrinkles are stress. Is it stress over time from them doing the same action over and over and over again? Or is it a stress right now, like they're screaming and wrinkles happen where the skin gets moved around? But it's all stress. It's how you show that stress. All right, so now I have put the wrinkles in, but they're more like scratch marks because they are very rough and I just scratched them in. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to calm them down quite a bit with a loop tool and knock the edges off. This is called trenching.
Hey, we got a thumbs down. There you go.
Yeah, thumbs down happens.
I love the 2018 version.
Isn't that Rob Zombie? Did they post that again?
So no, that was the newest Myers movie.
Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't seen it yet.
Does spray paint stick to plastic wrap?
For a little while, but it will flake off because spray paint doesn't flex and plastic wrap does.
I've been repainting the Trick or Treat Studios mask with lots of success.
Cool. Yeah, that's almost like a main side business for a lot of folks.
This is called trenching because it's a shark.
Who was-
Spastic photo.
Spastic.
You have 86 people watching. You have been streaming for 2 hours.
2 hours.
I use your paint mixtures. This is DJ style.
You know what? It's a good mix, and you can call it my mix. It's what I use. I learned it from Ed Edmonds. You can also call it his paint mix, which will get you way more street cred. Because Ed Edmonds is the man. I watched a bad guilty pleasure movie today, actually. Mortal Kombat. I love that movie. Came out in 1995. It's pretty terrible, and it's wonderful. See how these wrinkles are looking more like wrinkles and less like just they're scratched in. Now they're more wrinkly, and even these are pretty heavy compared to what because you're seeing a lot of heavy shadow on them. They look more subtle in person. Now I'm going to brush it out. Brushing along this trench. That's smoothing it out even more. These are still wrinkles, they're still stress, but they're a little more reserved. I've got to take a second and look up at these sharks again, because now I'm getting to the point where visual reference is very important. It's little things that I'm adding to my sculpture that's going to make a difference.
This is, wow, it's a long time since I've seen that. It's a good movie, I like it. My guilty pleasure is Batman Returns.
Okay. And Mortal Kombat is on Netflix now.
Testing. Lockhart, we hear you.
Hey.
Old timer shark, we will call him Gummy Shark. Lockhart is setting up Wi-Fi in their shop.
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's so important. It is so important to be able to pull up reference images or whatever. So I'm pretty happy with the outside of this sculpture. I'm very happy with it. What I have to do now is I got to work on the inside of the mouth. If I put teeth in now, I can't get to the inside of the mouth. I'm selecting one of these with a flat tip because I'm going to go around. I'm going to go around the edge here.
It's no fun seeing a shark without teeth. Jason X is what I've seen today. Jason 10. Where do I get mask latex? I've been using liquid latex from Spirit Halloween.
Okay, you hate yourself. Get casting latex or mask making latex. You could buy it from Biddy Mold Supply, B-I-T-Y Mold Supply. You could buy it from Fright Props. You could buy it from Screamline Studios. You could buy it from Monster Makers. There's a lot of places to get it. But get yourself the right stuff. What you're using right now, it's way too thin. There's too much water in it. There's too much ammonia in it. And it's descented ammonia. There is ammonia in there. It just doesn't smell like ammonia. That's like what's the point of that? That's like alcohol-free beer. There's just no point.
I've used Pledge furniture spray with no stress, but for relief, what should I or could I use for better release to get that monster clay from sticking to my cast? Any info? Thanks in advance.
There isn't a good way. Monster clay is just really sticky, and I'm sorry to tell you that. There's a reason why I'm using Wed. It just sticks. If it's going to have a lot of detail, I avoid monster clay if I can. Because it is hard to get out of the mold. It leaves a residue. Now, some molds, if you do it out of Ultra Cal 30, you can bake it out, but that's not 100%. You're still going to have residue you have to go in there with. I use a sprayer with 99% alcohol or odorless mineral spirits, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I'm at a point now where I need to work on this bottom jaw. And from what I am seeing, I put a chin on this because I'm used to human anatomy. And they just don't have a chin. So I'm going to sharpen this a little bit. And I'm mostly working on the profile. And I'm sharpening it by doing this. I'm taking off this chin that's here. And I'm just going to do it with a stick so that instead of bulging out, it just goes right into the mouth. I sculpted that piece over an hour ago, but I'm not worried about losing it. Don't be afraid to correct the mistake just because it took you a long time to make it. Fix it. I'll feel better when this sculpture is good than I will if it's finished. Finished and good is better than just finished. And finished is better than perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's got to be functional. When you look at it, I want you to know it's a shark.
Could you boil or steam clean out monster clay?
If your mold can take it, it depends. I mean, I don't like using boiling water because that could actually break open. If you have an air pocket in your mold, the water goes down into, that could bust open the mold. So I avoid it.
I think we're going to need a bigger boat. Shark is getting rid of his double chin.
He is. He is. He wants to look good in photos. He's working out, eating right. California sharks. He only eats vegan. Vegans, I should say.
Pledge works well with monster clay or Chavant. Hey. Hi.
Yeah, Pledge is kind of one of the best. It's just a good mold release.
Oh, kitty, kitty.
Now you can see I'm using this to get a line here. I want to separate the gums from the jaw.
Spastic Pug says, my old chum.
That was funny.
That's good.
Has Horror Beauty picked the name yet? I think we're pretty close to meeting the name.
I think, well, I don't know. She'll have to decide. Our beauty, you decide. Fish are friends, not food. I guess I will stick to Pledge finish, says Michael Last.
Yeah, I mean it's good stuff. All right, so let's look inside. I'm looking at these sharks. What I should do is I should get off my butt, go over there and put in shark mouth and look at pictures of the inside of the mouth. But I'm going to have to adapt it to this anatomy that's already here because there's a face in there.
You're saying lawyer, Chumley, or suggestions?
Chumley.
Jaw jacked. He likes to talk a lot. Ross Reichert's.
Oh, Ross. I know the loop tool that I want fell to the ground, so now I have to go get it. Now you're watching a rescue operation.
After I cast the mold, I want to make a permanent copy so I can recast when the original casting starts to wear out. It's a great way to do this, and with what product?
Start that at the beginning.
After I cast the mold, I want to make a permanent copy so I can recast when the original cast starts to wear out. What's a great way to do this, and with what product?
I go ahead and pour it up in latex, but I'm sloppy. I let the latex go all the way over to the sides. Not over the back side, but just over the top that's visible. And then I pour it up in soft foam. And this is what I mold. This is the buck that I mold when I need to make more molds for the goblin mask I made. Because I sell a lot of these. So this piece here is what I mold in order to make more. So and it's 3-pound foam in the mold. I do make sure that it has some hollowness to it because getting this out of the mold can be tricky.
They're like Chumley, Jabberjaw. Chumley was Timothy Tuxedo's pal. That's true. Chumley.
Jabberjaw is taken.
I like Jabberjaw or Finn.
Sounds too friendly for Finn, I think.
I did not take the time. It's almost 3 a.m. here. Glad I took a nap earlier. Haha. This is so worth staying up for. Great content and info. Thanks again. That's DG Mask.
Oh, thank you.
Buddy Geeks. Hello, Brian. How much is the shark mask? My girlfriend just got her PhD in shark immunology. That is cool.
Really? Why isn't she on here helping me out?
How awesome is that? Make it look like he ate a person and the face is showing. Finnegan's Wake, double pun. Hey,
All you have to do that is just cut this piece out. And you will have a face in there because it's your face.
Hi, Lanny.
Hi, Lanny.
Lots of good names mentioned. Shark Brody, not Bruce for names. Lawyer name is Finnegan. Still Shark. What Horror Beauty is collecting for names. Chumley reminds me of that dope off Pawn Stars. Jawman, Slackjar, Quint. I really like Tiger Shark King. I think it's brilliant by Mr. Jimmy.
I like that too.
I like Quint.
I also think My Old Chum is a very funny name.
How many years have you been at Transworld? That is funny. How many years have you been at Transworld?
As a guest or as a vendor? I think I vended for my first time in 1997.
Great Wyatt, a cowboy shark. Pledge the shark.
Okay.
That's Ezekiel. Thanks a million for all the great info. Keep making stuff, says DJ Styles.
Thank you.
Ceratum is the doctor's suggestion. That's Body Geek's girlfriend. Ceratum.
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 Is that a scientific name?
Jackjaw, says Kim Parker. Cerate.
Cerate's a good name.
Cerate's a good name. Another vote for Quint, says Third Degree of Terror.
Okay.
How do I send you guys some money? DJ Styles.
Do you want to buy something, or do you just want to send us money? Because I do have super chat enabled for people to help support the channel, which is, you just have to find it. But there's a donate button there somewhere. People are finding it, so I don't mention it. I don't say, hey, please donate. But people do, and that's very kind.
Sheet Shark, oh no, Ezekiel. I like Tiger Shark King as well. Amity, Lockhart says Amity.
That's a good name,
Amity
Amity.
the Shark. There's another for Quint. Chumming Buddy, Ginzu, Quint.
Ginsu.
Ceridum is the correct spelling from the doctor. It is the species name.
Nice.
Ceridum, C-I-R-R-A-T-U-M, Ceridum. C-I-R-R-A-T-U-M, Ceridum. I hope I'm saying that right, Body Geeks. Neat. It's fun.
Okay.
That is so fun.
All right, so we're getting there. Like we're really close. I'm gonna look at the features of these sharks here and see what I'm missing. Gills happen a little further back, so I'm not gonna include them. What's that, love?
Irish name for shark is Siorc. S-I-O-R-C. I hope I said that right,
Siorc.
DJ Bass. Siorc. I guess. Haha, I just looked it up. But pronounced like Ceratum is what Body Geeks is saying about what his girlfriend, the doctor, has said.
Okay.
Sushi's Revenge. To support your channel, I'll look hard or here want to use PayPal. That's DJ Styles. You can go to our website.
Yeah, we have a website, and
And buy something, or you can.
well, he's in another country, right? Isn't he in Scotland or Ireland or?
DJ Styles, I'm not sure where you are.
Yeah, Styles, where are you?
Got a website, or you can hit the dollar mark down here at the bottom of the page, and you can do super chat. But thank you so much either way.
Yeah.
Name him Indianapolis after the USS Indianapolis
Yeah.
incident. Ross, that's so cool. Hangry lad. Female punk shark sushi and the Banshees. Oh my God, that's great. DJ's in South Jersey. You're in America. Do it.
Yeah. So you know what? Buy an apron. Buy an apron. Buy a hat. That supports the
Or
channel,
a t-shirt.
and you get something.
Thank you, Scott. Rob, that is a great band name. Female punk shark sushi and the Banshees. That's
So
great.
right now I'm looking at, there's some anatomy happening underneath here that is in like the Jaws poster where it's coming up, and I'm working on which is a little penisy. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh,
but it's happening.
oh, that's fun.
Go, making that turn, and now I'm knocking the edge off of it.
Meat grinder
Meat grinder.
from Save Our Water. Shredder.
Shredder.
Shredder's fun.
Makes me think of turtles. Honey, do you know why Shredder makes me think of turtles?
Yes, because it's a character on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Good job, wife.
Bam! I'm more cool than you think I am.
Hooray.
Doc says you got more tiger shark going on there.
Yeah.
This is Brian's girlfriend, the doctor, who's looking at your sculpt. You have a doctor looking at your
Yes,
sculpt now.
this is,
Oh, pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I had to fit it around a human face, you know what I mean? And the human has to be able to see out, so lots of modification happening.
Thanks, Horror Beauty and Ezekiel, but I assure you there are many times that I am not cool. So the fact that I know things, I'm usually very proud because it's very rare. Chomp is a good name. Marine surgeon.
Chomp is a good name.
Chomp is a fun name. That was Speed Run Productions. Do you know what Five Nights at Freddy's is? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, of course.
Brody
course.
from the film Jaws. DJ Styles, where do you get your materials? I'm in Philly and my place is closed, so now I'm looking. So people are talking back and forth. That's good.
Shoot me a message. I could probably help you find something. If you get from our ceramics place that's local, they're probably closed because that is a non-essential business. But we here in Texas, because Biddy Mold Supply sells so many building materials, they are open, so you can order from them.
Eating Nemo. Chomp is good.
Found Nemo,
I was
delicious.
thinking of when I got a pet, a nurse shark in the aquarium, and they were so soft. Sharks are soft if you pet them in the right direction. Just call him the why does everyone assume my name is Bruce mask?
Why does everybody assume my
Oh,
name
you
is
got
Bruce?
it funny. If you go backwards, their skin is like teeth. Nibblers, sawtooth. Some fun names.
Yeah, my understanding is that shark skin is like a cat's tongue. All right. We're at a pivotal juncture. It's tooth time. I'm not going to wing it. I want to go over here, and we're making a new gallery just on teeth. Just on teeth.
The end of Finding Nemo was a huge missed opportunity. It ends with the end instead of fin. That's true. I agree, John. Leave the teeth out and call him Pops.
No!
Sawtooth Nibber. Not a king, but Sir ate him. Oh my gosh, you guys. We have 88 people watching. You've been streaming for 2 hours.
Okay, so now we're going to put in shark tooth. Images.
Minnow fiend. Dr. Teeth. The cookie cutter shark's teeth are always cool looking.
You know what? They're so clean, though, that I almost want to do something else just for variance. Cookie cutter shark teeth, it's like a serrated blade. They're very consistent in these real pointy triangles.
Sorry.
The curved tooth of the Mako is very nice. The serrated ends on that is nice. The Megalodon teeth are nice. They're very similar to great white.
Plastic Ninja, you hear 3 snoring pups. Grumble. Megalodamned. Look up Florida fossil shark teeth.
Megalodamned is actually pretty good.
Florida fossil shark teeth, they are a little different.
I will. I don't want the ones that look like a hard T, like lemon shark teeth. I don't want that. I think this look is kind of where I'm going to end up, which is great white. I think that's the classic shark tooth. I think great white is the one that people know the most, is my guess. This looks very interesting. You know what? And I just saw one. Here. Look at that. That's beautiful. It's got a big tooth here, and then it's got 2 little barbs on it. Save that. And now I'm going to put in shark jaw. Images, because that's going to show me the relationship between the teeth. I know they come in several rows, and that's going to help me hide the actor's eyes. Boy, that's terrifying.
DJ, thank you for your order.
What do you order?
You ordered an apron.
Awesome.
Megala Dam distilled, popular tiger shark.
Yeah, Megalodon is a pretty cool name.
Megalodam, call it tiburon. That's shark in Spanish. Greetings from Tijuana, Mexico. Thank you. Buzzsaw. CS Creations, hello. Can name it Count Sharkula.
I guess I could.
Two barbs sound like snaggletooth shark. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. 90 people are watching. Shark Bite. Hi, Larry.
Which Larry?
Larry Hughes.
Hello, Larry Hughes. It looks like you guys popped on just to watch me surf the internet. And that's partially true, but I am looking at shark jaws. And I'm looking at how their teeth work in relationship to their mouth.
A vampire shark would be sweet. I would order that mask. Plastic Ninja.
A vampire shark.
Vampire shark. What are we sculpting tonight? Sharktopus, maybe?
It is a shark mask. Do a couple of these jaw sets.
Just got a shark mask and a Dracula suit. Spastic bug. Very cool. Love sharks. They are so cute. Count Chompula. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Count Chompula. Okay, so now I can minimize this. Let's go into shark. I thought I had deleted most of these, but I didn't. You guys are going to go away. And you are going to go away. Be glad to get rid of that one. I didn't mean to do that. I also have clay dust all over my fingers, and that makes it hard to operate the computer. Okay, great. Now I can all right, we have a new slideshow going now. That's going to give me all the images that I need to dial in this phase of the sculpture. As I walk over here, this gill slit, which is pretty far forward, but I wanted to put in that little bit of anatomy. I want to add that texture back in. Now I always develop strategies in case I have to fist fight a shark. I'd probably try and get my hand into his gills.
What would it look like if you crossed a werewolf and a shark?
It's a were shark, which is a creature from D&D. They're really cool.
James Franklin, hey man, sorry I'm late. Did I miss the part where you cuss and throw stuff?
I haven't done that yet tonight, so I guess you haven't missed that part.
I deeply need vampire shark now. This is Plastic Ninja.
Oh, plastic.
This is Rob's not in the shop, James.
That's right, yeah, Rob's not here.
I would say street sharks with hair.
Oh, street sharks. So I'm going to use this loop tool to pull out chunks of clay so that all my teeth are roughly the same size. Because that's what I'm seeing a lot of. They have more uniformity in their teeth. Each shark type seems to have one type of teeth that it has a lot of. It's not like, do sharks have molars since I have a shark doctor? Sharks don't have molars. They just have more of these pointy teeth. More deathy teeth.
Nose for shark who. Have you ever looked at sand tiger sharks?
I've seen them before, yes.
They're a very interesting set of teeth.
Yeah, they have like 3 points on them, if I recall. And all I'm doing is I'm putting my wire loop tool in, I'm spinning it around, and the little ball that I get out, that is a tooth's worth of clay. Now I think, I mean, the bigger the teeth I put in, the fewer teeth he'll have. So I don't want to put in giant teeth. I'm going to actually go a little smaller. So I have a few that are bigger, but that's okay because I am noticing a difference in size.
This mask would make a great wall trophy.
Yes, yeah. And people see that, every mask would make a great wall trophy. But people see that in half masks especially, simply because they're already on a plaque when you're sculpting them. And this happens to be a shark, which people already see in that kind of a form all the time anyway also. So don't necessarily be a slave to, look past this. Look past what it is right now. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's very easy to see that. And develop the skill of seeing stuff that's hard to see.
As far as the sand tiger, they're like a mouthful of long needles.
Yeah, very pointy.
Leave the teeth out. End user, buck teeth, vampire teeth, hillbilly teeth, meth teeth, says Ezekiel.
No, I don't want them to be able to pick meth teeth.
If you're going for realism, shark teeth are layered back, and so rows of them.
Yes.
Teeth get
And
smaller and sharper.
And they're not straight either. They boop, 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 boop. So, yeah. Hope you figured that one out.
Shutter jaw. She says, okay, this is Body Geeks. The doctor says, she says, depends on the shark species. They have 4 basic types of teeth. Great whites have pointed lower teeth and triangular upper teeth. We have a vote for spine tingler, and they're laughing at meth shark.
Yeah. Everyone laughs at meth shark. No one takes meth shark seriously. It's not his fault he ended up here. Meth shark lived in a shark trailer park for the beginning part of his life. Sometimes it was for fun. Next thing you know, he was hanging out near those underwater vents too long. He became addicted. Those lava tubes, never mind. Truly is a tangent. And I'm just making balls. And I'll pick the bigger balls for the front teeth, and I'll put in the smaller teeth first. And I'm not going to be able to fit all these teeth in the mouth. That's how it is. It's not happening. So let's start with some smaller balls. These two rows are the smallest ones I've got. So they'll be the furthest back.
Hey, big dog.
Hey, big dog.
Will this masterpiece have elastic straps and or a leather belt like with buckles? What do you prefer? Which is better?
I'm going to mount this to an EVA foam helmet. I don't think it'll be comfortable really any other way. It's going to be heavy.
Yes, big dog, we have one dislike. There's always one.
Either I wasn't going fast enough for it, who knows?
Who knows? Love the backstory. Now we just need you to top it off with a parody song and it's done. This is Ezekiel. He wants you to make the song. Does the clay dry out too much to reuse?
No, because you can always re-wet it. It doesn't dry out too much to use. What happens is it just gets little chunks in it, like plaster and things.
How about grape fright instead of grape white? They like the fact that you said you're just making balls.
Just making balls, man.
I've been looking for a way to make realistic eyes for props. Do you have a video on this?
Right now, I don't. I will do an eye making video at some point in time. Monster Tutorials has a pretty good one, so I would check theirs out. And there's, when I do my video, it's going to have about 15 different kinds of, different ways of making eyes on it, because there really are that many different ways. So what's difficult here is that this clay is mushy. And so to get something in this mouth that looks sharp is pretty difficult.
Big Dog says the peacock mask brings back memories. That was a beautiful mask.
Yeah, that was in your class.
I discovered zombie gnomes today, says Buddy Geeks.
Oh, nice.
Probably the guy that got kicked out and did a dislike. Well, I kicked him out and... Maybe. That's fine.
Worth it.
Is Transworld canceled this year?
Yes, it is.
DJ Style says, got it, thanks. Definitely trying to do the eyes cheap. How tough of a mold is this going to be?
Not. It's a bucket mold, one piece.
Horror Beauty, for Monster Camp 4 that we did in January, that was the last one we did, one of our students did a peacock mask, and if you look in the pictures on the Stilt Beast page on Facebook and on Instagram, there are some pictures of it, and she just did an outstanding job. It was one of those masks that everybody was doing monsters, except she went for a peacock, and we all...
Yeah, I'm like, so what do you want to make?
Yeah.
I want to make a peacock.
And we were all kind of going,
Okay, great.
You realize this is monster camp and not bird camp.
And she was some very nice soccer mom who...
And she did just a breathtaking mask. We were all applauding.
Yeah,
So
she was good.
you get a chance, take a look at
Just
it.
plugged away until it was right.
The happiest peacock I ever. Love it. Looks like you're trying to steal his lunch, reaching in there.
Yeah, at some point it's going to get scary to reach in here. That's my hope.
Transworld is not canceled next year.
Well, that's a long way off. Don't you put that hate on me. We'll see what happens. I think haunt season's going to go off still. I still see that happening. This is the first row of teeth on the top. I've only got 8 teeth up there, but I don't want to make the teeth so tiny. So...
Save Our Water says, I've been watching your videos usually after you post them. I do outdoor decorations, thinking aliens and Star Trek with a few ghosts still lingering around. I love your snake video.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Glad you enjoy it.
That snake was something.
We'll try something. This gives me pretty clean, pretty consistent shark teeth. There's a nice point on that at least. And it's about the right size to fit in with this. So I think I'm going to do that for the next rows. And I might use it to clean up these teeth to get them more pointy. Yeah, I'll do that. I need to do one more. But see, I have this wad of clay, and I could press them out. Think of like a Play-Doh fun, whatever they call it. I was actually not a Play-Doh kid as a kid. See, now I have a nice sharp tooth that has clean edges, which is important. And I can push this tab in and then fold the tooth down.
Love the snake video, or and the truck bedliner statue.
Yeah, I'm going to do an update of that actually very soon.
Is this sharp for dark hour?
I am going to pull up a couple for dark hour, but the first one goes to cobwebs and candlesticks. Apparently.
That is a cool mask. I like the one with the teeth going down the head. Right now, yeah, I need to adjust your camera.
Well, I was showing them my tooth making setup. All my balls were useless. You know what I mean? All my balls were useless because I'm making them a different way now.
Water themes seem to be big this year.
I think so. I mean, we're doing one at dark hour, but we just picked up on it, pretty early.
Do you know what you could use? Do you know what I could use to adhere facial features to a phone head, and then paint to use as a prop head?
Yes, Magic Sculpt, or epoxy clay. It's a two-part clay that you mix together. It gets hard. It is wonderful for that. And remind me that could be a video.
Are you going to be live streaming tomorrow?
Wife, am I going to be live streaming tomorrow?
Quite possibly.
We're not 100%.
Well, you have flexibility this week.
Yeah. I probably will.
We hope so. We'd like to. You're much faster than that 3D printer thingamabob all the kids are raging about these days.
I am, actually. I'm a very fast sculptor, though. It may not be the best sculpture in the world, but it's going to be finished.
3D printers are cool for different stuff. They're good for single batch plastic parts. They have their purpose. Just checked it out. Oh my god, the peacock is beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful mask. Chumster is another vote.
Chumster. Then they say 21 Chum Street.
Okay, also need to know the best casting plaster for the Myers mask. Also, want to say, I find you amazing with your work.
Oh, thank you. Well, it depends on where you are, but I like UltraCal 30. I also like HydroCal, and I like US #1 pottery plaster. So it really depends on you and what you want to use. You have a lot of options.
And what separates you from everyone else is your uncanny ability to invent new methods and the ability to keep the cost down.
I do like to do things in different ways. I don't like to do something the same way every time, and that turns into me doing a lot of experimentation. Um, and I'm not afraid to change up the way I do things really often, which sometimes that's not great, but it does give me some advantages.
How many copies are you wanting to make?
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was Michael Astor asking DJ Styles as far as casting plaster and
Yeah.
Rhymes mascotting house. Sorry about that.
Now, see, I'm going in now and I'm cutting the back of the teeth off, which makes them flatter and sharper.
Hey, Art Lady Blunser. Hello. Have you mentioned using Harbor Freight floor mats for a source of EVA foam? What do you do about the diamond tread pattern on it?
And don't use that side, or sand it off. Yeah, just sand it off with a belt sander. You can do that. You also um, heat it with a heat gun, and then lay something just as big and flat on top of it, and that could also get rid of that pattern. Get it really hot. I'm going to go back in, and these teeth are going to need a lot of touching up and cajoling. But right now, I just got to get them in.
Lucky 2001, if you are on Facebook, I just sent the link to the Still Beast page where you can see the peacock mask. The shark is looking awesome. I had to step away to do my chores. Just got back, and wow, that's Connie Pierce.
Thank you.
If you couldn't splurge on epoxy sculpt, is there a DIY material you prefer?
Nothing is going to be the same. Um, you could go the paper mache route and do paper clay, but you're all you're doing is you're trading issues. Issue one with the magic sculpt or epoxy clay is cost. Well, but once you're done with that, you're going to have that for years and years and years. When you go to something like paper clay, which is like a paper mache, your the downside is it's not as firm, it's not as rigid, and it is animals might eat it. I mean, it's just not as durable. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying there aren't things that can last made of paper mache, but as far as products go, it's just not as durable.
Quick question for a research paper for college. Strawberries or blackberries?
Strawberries. Yeah. But if you said strawberries or blueberries, I'd go blueberry.
Maybe he should put 1 or 3 extra large teeth.
No, because that would throw it off with a shark look. And he might look bucktooth.
Epoxy sculpt is amazing stuff.
It really is amazing stuff. But saying that, plumber's water putty. Plumber's putty. Very similar product, but it's one part. It's much cheaper. That would probably do the trick. Plumber's putty. The Some pro makers and pro haunters kind of think sometimes that home haunters and, you know, DIY guys don't know the right materials to use. But this is a great example. You know the right material to use, I just told you, but you just want to do it cheaper. Um, and that's okay. Just know what your trade offs are. And if I did not tell you what your trade offs are, then I'm doing you a disservice. And often, what I am telling you to use, I'm telling you based off of what I have deemed to be the trade offs. I'm not willing to give up durability because I'm a haunter. Durability is almost my number one asset. What I make has to be bulletproof.
Do you have a way of keeping creative blocks from popping in occasionally?
I don't have them. Keep moving, keep doing things, keep making things. With my job, I have to have creativity on tap. I cannot say I'm not feeling it today. I have to be able to uh, recognize the problems that pop up and fix them. Often with a creative solution. So no, I don't have a creative block. I have more ideas of things to make than the time I have to make it. This isn't me bragging on myself. This is me saying that this is a state of mind that you can get to, because I had to practice it. I had to work at it. I There are times when I'm just ate up and I have to go in there and sculpt. I have to go make something. But that's not my normal state of being. You know, that's a therapy to me. It's something that I enjoy. But no, creative block. Keep working. It doesn't matter if you have creative block. You have stuff you have to do, and give yourself assignments. And the more assignments and restrictions that you have and that you can accomplish, you will slowly realize that you have less and less creative block because you are overcoming it by volume of work. Does that make any sense at all? Did I go too crazy there? Creativity on tap is one of the harder parts of my job. It's fine to make things you want to make. Well, anybody should be able to do that. It's when you have to create and you have to make things you don't want to make. Right now, me and my another team, we're working pretty hard on our social media because that's all we got. And I don't think in terms of social media, but I'm learning and we're just doing it.
Are there pictures of Monster Camp 4 on your website? Big Dog, not yet, and here's why. I was going to do a blog entry on Monster Camp, also to help propel 5 and 6, and that's where those pictures were going to go, and well, 5 and 6 have had to be
Postponed.
Not canceled, postponed. So I will probably go ahead and take the Monster Camp 4 pictures and put them on the website and just table the blog entry for another time. But they will be on there soon. That is the reason why they're not there. They were meant for another project, and that project with everything else in the world got sidelined. But they will be. Inbred shark with wild teeth. I hope Spirit Halloween isn't canceled. Spirit Halloween store? Oh. Talking about hoping that it opens.
I'm sure they will.
If I wanted to send you a picture of a project I completed, where could I send it so you would get to see it? Hang on, I got this one.
Okay, my wife is answering that because it'll just
Someone may have
be
already
easier.
gotten it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it.
So now this row, I want to solidify before I do the next row. That's one row of teeth.
Jamie Thaxton says Spirit is not opening stores this year. Says, are they really not? And I heard Wow, the peacock is pretty awesome. I think so. Sadly, Spirit will have more places to set up with all the poor mom and pop shops that had to close up with what's going on. Had not heard that. I'm finding many of my ideas already incorporated into other haunts. I don't want to appear like I'm copying others.
Well, it depends on how generic that idea is. Whenever I see a drop panel, I don't think they're copying another haunt. I think that's a haunt thing. It's haunty. I'm liking the shark.
I have not found that foam in the 2-part bags in the Home Depot for fence posting. Who else might carry that? Have you bought this product lately?
I bought it at Lowe's. Yeah, I bought some just recently at Home Depot. It's certainly on their website. It's also on Walmart.com. It's not in their stores, but it's on Walmart.com.
Saying, really, it's too early to start canceling Halloween stuff. And Jamie Thaxton says, yes, it is on their Facebook page and website. Wow. Do you have a head form under the sculpt to help you determine the size?
I do. When this video is over, you can actually go back and watch it because I started from the very, very beginning.
Creative blocks are a state of mind for sure. Thanks for all the inspiration and motivation, Alan. Good night. Night, Warren.
Good night, Warren. You're
Warren,
awesome.
Warren was sculpting with you tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, if I wanted to sculpt a quarter mask or almost like an appliance on a bust, do I have to build a wall around the sculpt for molding?
Yes. Doesn't have to be a huge wall, but you got to put one there.
DJ Styles, you're very interested in our monster camp. Well, stand by. We had an April monster camp that was supposed to be this coming weekend that we have had to push forward, and also for May. And so we are kind of like everybody else. We're watching how the world is going to see. Once things get back to normal, and I believe they will, we will have monster camps, and I hope you can join us because it's
a good time.
Lockhart is on, Connie Pierce is on,
Warren was just on.
Warren was just on, Big Dog is on. These are all former students of ours who have been here, and
They went to monster camp and they still like me.
they still like us, yeah. So hope you can join us sometime. I made an earnest, scared, stupid troll back in the 90s out of paper mache. It looked good, but it molded and didn't last. It was for my home haunt.
Paper mache. It's a double-edged sword. It's cheap. It's a good material, but it does not last. It is very hard to keep maintained.
My cousin met Stephen King. That's very cool.
Oh, awesome.
30-foot scarecrow and giant pumpkin king is the main ones I came up with. This is Body Geeks.
Yep, those are pretty common. I don't think anybody would think you're copying, though.
No, they're amazing. Good night, Michael.
Michael Lassiter heading out.
Michael Lassiter's shutting down for the night. Connie Pierce, so true. Since our Krampus and MC4 classes, since then we have come up with some pretty cool stuff, and I never would have been able to do it. You taught me. Connie and Lockhart are absolutely destroying it.
They're beasts.
They are running back. That's so amazing. So super proud of them. But yeah, it's a fun time. Hope you can join us. There's a rumor that the earnest, scared, stupid trolls were just repainted killer clowns from outer space masks.
I think they were left over for some of the troll movies because they were very troll-esque. And I had info on that at one point in time. That's a lot of teeth. But I'm going to have those 2 layers of teeth at least, which is nice.
You're very welcome, Connie. We are super proud of you guys. Y'all have done amazing. Every time we see what you guys are up to, it's just, you just ran wild with it. Do you sell large male head and shoulder sculpting mannequin?
I can.
Can or can't?
I can. I use my head form most of the time for big stuff.
You are at 9:30.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not done with this shark.
I know, but you need to just pace it out so that you can go your next chapter. Me too. I'm at 23%.
Okay, I want to get this top row of teeth in, and I'm going to probably call it a night. But it's looking okay. I think I'm liking it.
I know this is going to sound funny, but that movie, Ernest Scared Stupid, scared the crap out of me. I don't care for jump scares. It's Art Lady Blunster. Jim Obitz, he looks great. Bloody Geek says, funny thing is, I don't watch any horror movies. I only have been to one haunt many years ago. I just think this way.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think part of that is if you were exposed to more things, haunt-wise, then you would see what they have and then take that next step of ideas. You're taking the step of ideas that they're taking because of lack of exposure. So if you are exposed to more things, it's always easier to see what's missing. I mean, it's always harder to see what's missing, and so what can you add to it, than it is to see what's there and kind of recreate it. But if you're already thinking on the same line as them, if you could start getting exposed a little more to haunt stuff, then you'll be thinking in terms of things that they don't have yet, that they are missing.
Adam Dolans is currently sculpting with you. Ironically, I'm also working on teeth.
Cool.
Love the shark. It's off the hook. Have you
Thank
watched
you.
Scary,
No pun intended.
Have you ever watched Scary Movie?
I have not.
Good night, speed run.
It may have been on in a room that I was in, but I have not watched it.
Innovation is easier than creation, says Robin.
True innovation. I mean, getting it made is tough. Doing the actual making of it, I would say, is difficult. Yeah.
Could you get the lower jaw to move really good or make it in two pieces?
It's possible, but what I would do is I would leave all of this as a frame and I would foam it in, and I would do all of this in fabric. That way, when the mouth moves, this will give and buckle the way it should.
What else record says? Plastic Ninja wants a 3-headed shark.
A golden 3-headed shark.
Scary Movie is hilarious, says Ron Lee McKenzie. Plastic Ninja, I mean. Maybe a little.
There was a movie called Two-Headed Shark Attack, and they had a sequel called Three-Headed Shark Attack. I wish I was making that up.
This was fun. Well, it's past 3:30 a.m. here in Ireland. I thank you for the info, and I'll be back the next live chat with you soon. Good night. Have a good day for all of you. Later, DJ Masks.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging out.
Tucker and Dave versus Evil is a great horror comedy. My buddy always told me a weird story he wanted to make into a movie about a wasp that flies around when he stings you, you turn into chocolate. Let's see, DJ Style says, that would be a pretty cool puppet. Body Geek says, I have planned a very elaborate collapsing building room jump scare. Think sound and 500 pounds of steel crashing around you.
Okay. Interesting. So my new technique is to put the tooth on at this weird angle, solidify the bottom, push it into place, and then go in and push the top where I want it.
Are you going to be live every night now? That's what he said.
Not necessarily every night. I'm going to need some nights to do Allen things, But we are trying to be live a lot more because people need more things to do. They need more things to lift their spirits up. And I think I'm generally a pretty positive guy. And hopefully, when you get done watching this or while you're watching it, you're having a pleasant experience. And the world is not as pleasant as I want it to be.
What are
But I
Ellen
can
things?
sculpt it. What's that?
What are Ellen things?
Eating,
Fishing.
fishing, hanging out in my hot tub, taking a lot of relax time right now, and I just need to recharge a little.
Good night, Kurt.
Not every night, but every now and then.
Three-headed shark, that make it a Geedra shark.
Geedra shark.
All of a sudden I've had to watch live streams, so the increase in your streams is fantastic to me. Marlene, you can't send pictures in the live chat, but you can send the pictures to our email, and let me send that to you.
There you go. That's a lot of teeth. This guy has a lot of teeth. I'm going to turn around, shark teeth. Every now and then I bite a dude. Turn around, shark teeth.
Turned to naked stories, Alan thanks. Shark steaks are good. Filling with the wonderful lady you live with, and puppies, lots of puppies. We're gonna have a little time. Beauty Spirit can't get a lot of their stuff that's coming out of China. I looked in mine these past 2 nights. I really enjoyed the projects that Jim opens. You get a front view, you're getting that, thank you. I'm considering this professional development. I'm getting paid to watch. Will that mold be a challenge to clean out with the teeth?
Power washer, my friend. Power washer.
Yes, Ezekiel, there'll be more stories.
And I'm going to look at the angle of them to make sure that I'll be able to get to them with the power washer. That's one of the parts.
Instead of Bonnie Tyler, Bonnie Tyler. I'm Stacy's daughter, and I just want to say you look like a dad. This is Stacy's daughter, Gray.
Okay, I look like a dad.
You look like a dad.
I'm a puppy dad.
What are your thoughts on the upcoming Candyman movie?
I think it's going to be good. I like Candyman movies. I think I like a lot of movies that are set in not creepypasta per se, but urban legends that are set in urban legends. I like them because I like creature movies, so they normally have a good paranormal element to them.
I think I'll stream the making of my Myers mask. This was really fun, and I love the idea of your wife reading the comments while you work. DJ Styles, I read the comments so he can keep working, and it's easier for him than looking up from his work, and it also helps us to get to know who's watching this. So it's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's very hard to keep track if it's just you.
This is actually great advice to apply to depression too, Rachel Powell.
Okay, good. I don't have depression, so I don't understand depression. You know, it's one of those. I just don't understand it. I don't have it. I don't grasp the concept, and or if I have it, I power through it, not even knowing I have it. So I don't have it.
But we believe that making things like this, making art, working with your hands is just good for you mentally.
How can it not help you?
It's
Yeah.
good for you. We see a lot of good things when we see people do this. How long have you been with Dark Hour? I have a home haunt that was on 2 news stations and on the Kid Craddock show on Kiss FM. This is Jonathan Perry. How long have you been with Dark Hour?
I've been there about 7 years.
Since it opened.
Yeah, since it opened.
Do you have any tips for home haunters?
I mean, I have a YouTube channel that has a lot of those kind of tips. Develop the skill of paper doll thinking to where you can you can see something and mentally change its color, because that's going to make things more useful to you. Look at something and be able to mentally change, you know, is it the right shape for something? If not, the function. You know, a lot of the stuff we it doesn't have to work, just has to look right. So, you know, look at shapes, and look at learn to make things with waste. Become friends with waste, especially stuff like industrial waste, which is A, free, B, taking it out of a landfill somewhere, and they throw away a lot of really cool stuff. There's an HVAC place that I go by all the time to pick up their foam board that they build plenums out of their garbage. They're happy with me taking it because they have to pay to get the dumpster emptied.
Ezekiel, there is no way I would be where I am without the Hosses and their network of influence. Thanks for going live these times. It is making a huge difference to a lot of people. Thank you, Ezekiel.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Stacey Hawkins, total eclipse of the shark, put her over the edge. She's been saying he's such a dad all night. That's a first.
Total eclipse of the shark. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I get this for sure. I stream DJ sets, and that's one of my biggest problems, keeping up with the live chat. Do you like cryptids? If so, what is your favorite?
I love all cryptids. I'll probably say that my favorite is orang pendek and or Bigfoot. Those are some of my favorites. But I kind of like all cryptids. I think they're wonderful. I'm very fond of the Mongolian deathworm. Who isn't? You know.
This is looking good. Those are some serious choppers. Is that a half face bust under that?
It is. It is. It's a half mask sculpting form that I make and sell some. They're not on my website. They're a pain to ship, so I mostly only sell them at trade shows.
Well, this is Body Geeks, who is interested in buying both. So last night you saw him using the full head for the Gravedigger,
Yeah.
and tonight you are seeing the half head used for this mask. To give you an idea, since you wanted to order them. Had a post on Latex Mask Central about what a good half mask form would be. Thanks for your direction and advice for a good one.
No problem. Now, here, I'm going to tell you, I'd probably go with the Monster Makers, just because David Mosher is very slow to get them out. It's a good product, but it doesn't get to you fast. Like, I'm talking months. I don't know if that has changed. And he's a nice guy. I know he cruises on Latex Mask Central. I don't think he watches my live streams. So I can say very plainly, you'll get it faster from Monster Makers. I mean, I would order both because I like variety and I like learning which one is going to be best for me.
Is this mask going to have a sock to the back or latex?
Neither. It's going to have an EVA foam helmet.
Ezekiel says, Bonnie the Shark, totally clips is a perfect thing to sock. Save Our Water says, a building noise will be great. We'll put chills up your spine.
Yeah, I bet it will.
What is your absolute favorite scary movie?
Boy, that's tough, man. Absolute favorite. A lot of real good ones. I really like The Relic. That was a really good one. So we'll start flipping these guys up. The Relic is a really good movie. I love Pumpkinhead. It's got a good, solid story to it. 70s horror movie called Prophecy. with this big mutated bear. That's always fun. I don't know if it's good, but it's fun. I like monster movies. Horror movies are a little harder because there's a lot of elements to horror that I don't enjoy, but I do enjoy monster movies.
Do you make the head forms out of fiberglass and resin shell?
No, these are plaster. The sculpting forms are plaster.
Connie Pierce says she likes The Howling.
The Howling is very good. I do. That's one of my favorite werewolf movies.
Mike's Haunted Woodworks. Sorry I'm late. Also, you win. What was it? Did you guys have a bet? Did you win?
I don't know what I won.
Let's see. How about making a 3D Jaws poster out of latex? That might be a great idea for any horror poster.
I just don't want one. I don't want a 3D poster.
What do you think the
You make
best
one.
monster movie ever is? Not favorite, but best. I think it's Predator.
King Kong. Mic drop. Best monster movie ever.
I thought you were going to quit after the top teeth. Linda's on. She's monitoring you.
The bottom teeth are so fun.
Go, Linda.
Don't be tooth racist.
She's watching you. Razor Mouth is a good name.
Razor face.
Will you let that harden before casting? What's the process?
It'll get leather hard, but I'm not going to let it harden. I'm going to mold it. I mean, the process is I'll probably be molding this tomorrow. That's my hope that I can mold it tomorrow night. So yeah, I sculpted in clay, and then I'm going to make a plaster mold of it. But I've got to coat it in pledge to help it get removed from the mold down the road. Yeah. My tooth press is taking some damage for the team here. It's got some cracks in it, but it's still working.
I love the Prophecy movie. The Prophecy was good. I keep confusing that with the Prophecy with Christopher Walken. Like I didn't remember a bear in that. It's Stacy. It works. How much are you down? We were double or nothing on a weight challenge bet.
Oh, I'm pretty down. I'm down. I'm doing well. I'm very happy with my weight. I am well over 50 pounds now from when I started. So
What was the bet?
I think it's just more. Haunted Woodworks and I bet each other on occasion. Basically, I think he's trying to save my life because I'm a big fatty. We bet each other pretty much help in the shop. So now he owes me some shop help because he has lost the bet.
That is not a bet.
I also think that he enjoys working in the shop making stuff.
That is so not a bet. Okay, King Kong, what year?
31.
Can't wait for King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait either. It's very exciting. That sounded sarcastic, but it wasn't.
No, so I'm very excited about King Kong versus Zilla 2, says Plastic Ninja. It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be a heavy mold.
Again, I'm going to work on making this a very light mold. Like my goal going into it is just to make it the lightest mold I can. That worked very well in the last one, and I think somewhere along the way I lost sight of that, and I was making hunky chunks.
You look slimmer, Alan.
I feel better, and you know what? I'm going to look up, and people who aren't like normal, they're going to be like, "Oh, that's a big old fat guy. What the heck is he talking about?" But I was bigger and fatter. So here I am now, and I used to be like out to here, like I was big, and I feel I'm a husky boy, but I have lost a good bit of weight, and I'm keeping going too.
What do you do with old props, masks, costumes, scenes at Dark Hour? Any chance they are up for grabs anytime?
We sell them actually. We on occasion we have sales. There are haunted house yard sales that happen around here, and we take masks and things to those and sell them. Yeah, so we sell them. But I mean, cheap. You know, like a full head werewolf mask that we show, that might go for, you know, 20, 30 bucks.
What are you doing to lose weight? I'm a huge guy too. Share your methods.
Keto. It's keto. It's the ketogenic diet. And I'm only eating when I'm hungry. Don't eat unless you're hungry. And that sounds ridiculous, but now what I'm doing is when I go to eat something, I think, am I hungry? Do I need this food? And if not, if the answer is no, then I do something else. Because I can't just sit there and think about not eating, but, you know, do things, do something. It's, Will Smith posts little videos that are little motivational videos, and he's pretty awesome. He's pretty on point. I mean, obviously he has accomplished whatever he wanted to accomplish in his life, and but one of them was, you know, you don't. People see him and all the time they say, "Oh, I want to be like you. I want to do what you do," and you know, he's like, "Oh, okay, good luck," you know, but you don't have the discipline. If you don't have the discipline to control what you put in your mouth, how you take care of your body, and he says, the whole world is out to kick you in the balls, and you're kicking yourself in the balls by not taking care of yourself. And you know, that's huge. Now, granted, I didn't hear that recently, so it took about 2 years to sink in. But I think about that sentence pretty often. You know, the world is not out to be your buddy. You know, that's not how nature works. So, you know, take care of yourself.
Mike's Haunted Woodwork says I'm up to 40 job help. How are people losing so much weight during this period? I think we are all eating better at home. I think that's true too.
Yeah, and I'm eating less. I'm just eating less. I will eat a handful or 2 handfuls of food 3 to 4 times a day because I'm hungry. I go have a few bites of something, and with me, the secret is having stuff on hand. Have hard-boiled eggs. Have, you know, cook up a couple chicken breasts and have them. I don't eat a whole one, but I eat their strips. And I mean, I'm on keto, so I dip a couple of strips of chicken in cheese sauce, and then I eat it, and then, you know, I'm losing weight. Life is wonderful. But I like to eat meat too. You know, I don't. It doesn't make me very sad.
Mike's Haunted Woodwork says, since I have been able to cancel all my vacation time, I have plenty to give to the shop. Connie Pierce says, wow, you really have lost weight. Great job. Say hello to James Minnick.
Hey, James. Good to see you on again, sir.
Okay. That should be the shark's name, Hunky Chunks. I can see a difference of the weight loss. Keep it up, man. I'm in the Dallas area. Where can I learn about haunted house yard sales?
There's a group called Damn Texas Haunters on Facebook, and join that group, and most of them are announced. All that kind of stuff is announced right there. Damn Texas Haunters on Facebook.
You are looking good, Alan. I need to get back to keto. Stacy says, Mike, oh wait, are you coming to help us? Plastic Ninja, I've dropped 20 pounds doing alternate day fasting. Lockhart, keep us posted on the Dark Hour garage sales. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Pretty Wicked Desire, what do you have on the baseboard so you don't use a lot of clay?
I have a head form under there. I have a half-mass sculpting form that I make.
Dead End Yard Haunt, I've lost 20 pounds on keto. Ezekiel says, DJ Styles, no soda, low carb. For a kickstart, do a 20-day protein only. JD James says, good evening. Plastic Ninja says, soda is a real killer. I love the stuff, but it's poison.
You know what? I still drink diet sodas. I wish I didn't. But now for every one I have 2 glasses of water. So, and for the record, this is my glass of water. It's got flavoring in it, so it looks like pee. But it's just water, and I bet I drink 5 of these a day, of water and mix and, whatever. So I drink a lot of fluids, and that's part of, I do drink a lot of soda, but I just drink a lot of fluids in general. I'm a fluidy guy. I always have a drink. I can't function without a beverage. Okay, so, and I don't drink alcohol, so hallelujah. My next step on this will be to smooth out the teeth with a tool that looks like this. It's a silicone tipped tool. And here's a smaller one. Really teeth.
Alan, with the teeth and mouth, isn't that going to be hard to clean out the mold?
Power washer, that'll do it.
Congrats on the weight loss. I've lost over 100 pounds over the past year with a low carb diet.
Wow, that's awesome. Who was that?
Dirk.
Dirk, I'm proud of you.
Jonathan Perry says, I lost 80 pounds on keto. Easiest diet ever. Bacon avocado burger with no bun.
Yeah, man.
Big Dog is off to bed.
Good night, big dog.
The biggest issue I had when I cut a lot of weight is replacing my wardrobe.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Now, and it doesn't matter if I go back to eating whatever. I think if I can keep the attitude of just eating small amounts. Because I've been unsuccessful on keto before, because if you eat, 6 steaks in a day and 2 burgers, you're still taking just too much food. So, eating keto is fine. I don't mind it at all, but I'm gonna have dessert. I'm gonna have something down the road. I've managed to eat this way pretty much since January. I don't know. Michael, when did we start? It was a while. November?
Well, you just motivated me to definitely work on my Myers mask. Gotta stay busy to lose this weight. Jonathan Perry says, I had a side effect of painful constipation, which is pretty common.
You know what? Do a shot glass of olive oil, like every 3 days. Doesn't taste good. It's not fun, but smooth as a goose.
Down to 88 pounds so far. That's Ezekiel.
That's awesome, man.
Big Dog is heading to sleep. Frozen banana slices helped me crave ice cream. I got through that. What is that glue called that you use often?
Contact cement? You see me use that a lot, I think.
Soda will actually dehydrate you, so it's good to balance it with water. I put cucumber in my water. I missed the initial sculpt. Is this a mask or a prop?
It's a mask. It's going to be a shark mask.
Is this a new Halloween mask you're making?
Yes.
Dean Martin and Albert Brooks didn't drink either, but both played great drunks and playboys. How far out can you go on a mask before they get off balance and hurt your neck?
Depends what the mask is made out of. If the mask is EVA foam, you can go 4 feet. But latex hurting your neck, you're talking about long-term wear, and that's going to be, you're talking over 4 hours. But that's I wouldn't go more than, a foot or so.
Mike's Haunted Woodwork says that you started in December 14th. The official weigh-in is in 2 hours, but I know you win. Not to get personal, but I'm 58 with health problems, so I don't eat sugar at all, only some fruits, and I'm trying to stay away from processed foods. I've always eaten small meals throughout the day, and it really helps. Good night, Michelle Schulte. Is this for your haunted house? Is the question.
Yes, this will be in my haunted house, but it'll also be for sale on the Snowpiece page.
Okay, I am at 9%.
And you know what? I'm wrapping
Shut
up.
down.
Right now, this clay is still too soft for me to really detail these teeth out. It's still too mushy, so I'm gonna let it dry out a little bit, and then tomorrow I can go back in and finesse those teeth. Let me show you guys the sculpture real quick. So this mask, I saw someone posted how much. This mask, fully finished out, is probably going to be $125 because that's mounted onto an EVA foam helmet with a fin on the back of the head of the helmet. So the shark face is here, the fin is back here, and so that'll be $125. If you just want just his face, this is a really big half mask, so he'll be $75. And if you want a blank, I think a blank is going to be $50. Because it's not going to be fun and easy. But there you go, since you asked. But my pricing is pretty straightforward. If it's a half mask, it's $75. If it's a whole mask, it's $100. Base. You add hair, then you add helmet, and all of those have a cost. Horns. So like a Krampus mask is a $100 full head mask, and then you add $25 in hair, $25 in horns, so you're at $150, and then $50 for LEDs because that's a cost, and comes with the battery and all that. Yeah, but I try to keep it very consistent so that my wife can look at a mask and say, it costs that much because it's this, 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 and this.
You could do a whole playlist on your channel about your weight loss. Thanks for the live. I love being in tune with Halloween all year round. You're an inspiration. I want to be like you in my struggle.
Oh my goodness, you're so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Did we name the shark? I don't think so.
I
don't think we did.
I don't know if Horror Beauty Effects officially named it. Who was the front runner? Megalodoom or Megalodamned. Megalodamned was Horror Beauty's there.
Megalodamned and Tiger Shark King are the front runners.
Horror Beauty, you're picking. So what is it? What's the name? You're the one who's picking.
Good night, Alan. Everyone, stay safe. Will you be on tomorrow?
I will probably be on tomorrow.
Will this have LED shark eyes?
It's possible because of how high up they are in the head. It's possible. We'll see.
You guys have a great night. We enjoyed the stream. I'll be on again tomorrow with you next time. And thank you guys so much for the pointers. Thank you, DJ Styles.
Have a great night. Say good night, wife.
Good night.
Go make stuff.
Night, 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 night. Megalodamned is the winner. Yeah, that's a good name.
Yeah, that's a really good name. Go make stuff.